Hashtag grow a pair. Oh boy. The solo's been putting up quite a fight here trying to get it back in the air. It has been one thing after another. First of all, shout outs to Chris and Crystal. I did get the new solo in the mail today, and it's up there on the shelf behind me. You can see it. They sent me a parts bird. Apparently, the drone has never flown. So, man, one issue after another. That crash was a little more abrasive than I thought it was. The solo has just been fighting me at every single turn to get back in the air. So new motors are installed, new props, all new legs, new GPS unit, new gimbal, same camera. Um, Phew, man, this has just been a fight to the finish. This is why you don't crash GPS platforms because they don't like it. However, I'm making some headway here. I did finally get a flight in today. I'll be showing that footage tomorrow. I'll be uploading it so you guys can see. After it crashed, something happened in the firmware on Arducopter, and it was not allowing the drone to take off. So I came inside the house and I went ahead and I pulled down the top of it, yanked it out, swapped the GPS for another GPS. I have a whole bag full of GPSs that work for the Solo. These are all, that's a Rev B. I got two more Rev A's. I got another Rev A, but this was the one I just yanked out, and it looks like it maybe got hit pretty hard. I don't know, man. It's got a big divot in the battery tray, and I think the battery isn't making a connection anymore, and there's no real way to tamper with that. So I also noticed there's a big fracture crack on the top of the tail glass right there. There's a big fracture crack that goes all the way across. So when this hit the ground upside down, it apparently jogged this GPS pretty hard, which reset the parameters inside the Arducopter for Solex. The green cube took quite a smack, apparently. And don't get me wrong, it was a 75-foot fall through the trees, bang, smacking off every branch, breaking off motors and limbs on the way down. So I did switch the GPS. However, it would not allow me to get more than 6 satellites. So I had to completely reset the Solo, take off all the current firmware, wipe everything, put 2.4.2 back on the Solo. I just finished doing all the calibrations on the Solo, and now I'm getting ready to put the third-party gimbal I came up with back on there. I did record the flight earlier, so I'll have that footage for tomorrow. And somebody was asking me how I did the star pattern. This is the original gimbal that came with the Solo, just the one with the little GoPro mount on it. All I did was remove the rubber guards, and then I took my soldering iron and I melted a star pattern of holes in there, and then I put them all through the center of this, and I pulled it tight on the bottom of the board on each side. So one on the sides, two on the front, two on the back. So that's how I was able to get that to hold up there nice and tight and look efficient. So that way the anti-vibration pads don't have to actually be through the holes. It's just sucked nice and tight to the top and allows it to still have some play. So this is a good setup here. It definitely weighs a lot less. And so we're going to put this back on here. And then when I'm done, I have to reset the parameters to be able to use pitch controls for this unit. This was the Phantom 1 and Phantom 2 gimbal that you could purchase, the 100-gram gimbal that you could purchase. So altogether, this is only 200 grams of weight as opposed to 317 grams for the stock setup. So what's up, Scrubby and friends? What's going on? So yeah, man, I'm hoping that this yields better results tomorrow, because today was not too friendly. I did get a flight in, but it wasn't what I expected. So yeah, the Solo's putting up a bit more of a fight than I thought it was going to. So I'm good, man. I'm good. So I figured I'd chat with you guys while I put this back together. For those of you wondering, a hard reset on the Solo takes about 35 minutes altogether to go through everything, reinstall it, wait for it to do all its prompting, um, send you through the whole setup, having to agree to things and tell it what you want it to do. So, yep. So the first thing we're going to do is shove the FPV cable through this hole that I cut in the back here. So we send that down like that. Then the FPV cable hangs out the bottom of the gimbal tray like so, which is smooth and round, allowing it to have some play. And then the next thing we do is we take this sensor wire, this channel wire, and we put it through the middle here by the power cable. If I can get it in there. Is it gonna fight me? Looks like it's gonna fight me. Let's hit this from a different angle here. I'll go ahead and put this on the front, about right there, and then we'll push it out the front here. So, and that will give me active pitch controls once I'm finished setting this up. So let's see if I can reach in there and grab that with 2 fingers. There we go. And this is soldered to pin 14, so I'm going to plug that into the pitch pin right there. So now we'll have pitch controls. Yaguni, what's going on, man? Do you think the Solo is a good purchase? Heck yeah, dude. I wouldn't even think twice about it. All right, so that's all set up and ready to go. So now we're going to go ahead and give the gimbal the power that it's requiring here. I'm going to shove this extra FPV cable up in there, and then we're going to plug in the JST connector so that the gimbal has power. I'll make sure I'm putting that in there right. Yep. There we go. So this is all plugged in now, and I should be able to shove all the rest of this up into there comfortably. Don't push too hard, you guys. Just take it real easy. Make sure there's not going to be any pinched or squished wires. And then start to line up the gimbal. Once you get her in place, she'll just pop right in like she's supposed to. Back first, then the front. There she goes. So the gimbal's now on there. Dan Border, I'm running on Open Solo. It works good on stock Solo and has updates since the old 3DR firmware stopped getting support. I honestly, man, I don't really see the point to Open Solo quite yet. I've been talking with 3DR to see if I can get them to release the service package for 2.4.2, and that way we can upload that to a server. That way, if 3DR wants to walk away from the entire project, they can do that. And we can still have 2.4.2 for those of us that like the stock setup. I don't really see the reason for Open Solo. Everything I want to do, I can do on stock standard setup. So, you know, to each his own. Dan, they'll probably come out with stuff that'll pique my interest with Open Solo in the future. So I may consider making the transition, but as of right now, I don't find it's a necessary thing to do. So what temperature is it in Gator State? Oh gosh, right now it's probably, I'll tell you in 1 sec here. I see in here, Lloyd, give me 1 sec. All right, I'm stabilizing a video at the moment here. It is currently 79 degrees at what, 11 p.m. So just about 80 degrees. Rick, what's going on? I hear you, Dan, but what are you doing with Open Solo that's making all the difference? When you can explain that to me, then I might find some interest in it. I run Solex on the stock setup, and I still get basically the same features. So Kelly keeps up with it. Solex does tracking, like it can follow your red shirt, etc. You can do that anyways with Solex targeting with stock set up on Solex. You don't have to do the switch to Open Solo to use Solex. So that's why I said, man, I really don't like Open Solo. The reason for Open Solo is understandable. They want to get people off the stock firmware in case 3DR ever ends, the service package. But as of right now, they're not going to. They're going to keep it up for quite some time, is my understanding. So, Lloyd, let me see what you said. Rick, it's good to have you in here, buddy. Didn't I watch this last time? You did this. They crashed the next day. Hey, it's all right, Lloyd. You'll have more great squirrel footage to work with. So, yeah, man. Yeah. Lloyd, I was busy doing this. I apologize. I didn't make your show, buddy. I've been at this now for almost 3 hours, I think. Probably longer than that at this point. I started this at like 6 p.m. and now it's 11. So I've been cracking away at this solo here for a while. So I do love the solo. It's such an amazing platform. I wish more people would get into it, get that taste for, get that wonderful, beautiful taste for open source we've all come to love and enjoy. Well, those of us that tinker with it. About the same in California. Yes, sir. So I'm going to have to go through and redo the pitch parameters for RC6. And we'll shove all that extra FPV cable up inside there. There we go. Now we can connect this to the side and power it on for the first time since the reset and see how things go. Let me get all that up inside there. There we go. There we go. All right. Let's power the gimbal on for the first time since the reset. Everything looks like it's in pretty good order here. So let's see if it remembers the catch parameters after the update. If it does, that'll be awesome. If I don't have to re-put them in there, I'm hoping that the catch remembers the parameter adjustments I made. So that's straightened out. So we're going to wait for these two to communicate. Whew. This has been quite an interesting project. Drone shots, what's going on, dude? Drop this back in the box here. Put the other GPS back in there because I know it still works. Put all new leg extenders on it today. So, all right, they're communicating. Let's see. Does it remember? Look at that. It remembered the parameter adjustments that I made. I don't have to, even though I had to redo and entirely reset the entire system, it still remembered the parameters. I didn't have to make the adjustment. I can still tilt the gimbal up and down with standard pitch controls. See? Working 100%. Pretty cool. Awesome. That just saves some time. I won't know. I would honestly, I just redid everything and I only got 6 satellites earlier and it's already got 8 inside the house. This is going to tell me it can fly here in a second. It just bumped on almost 9. Let's see how long it takes me to say it can fly. Boom. Ready to fly. That's inside the house on the Rev B board since I redid the hard reset. So apparently that fixed the problem by putting a new GPS in it, and factory resetting the solo solved all of the issues, it looks like. So this should be able to fly tomorrow with no problems. All the motor pods are activating like they should. So good to go. I think she will fly perfectly tomorrow. I'm probably going to have to stabilize the software a little bit with the camera and gimbal, but as of right now, that is a awesome little third-party gimbal setup there, a little aftermarket setup. It looks very clean, as you can see. It's way smaller. It's just a nice little setup, and it does a good job of, well, oh, I see. I touched the tip on there. So, yeah, it does a good job. Not that it would ever lean that far for any reason, but if it did touch, could. So we're good to go. We got FPV. We can record. We have active pitch controls on third-party setup. And I have a bunch of satellites. That's a plus. That is definitely a plus. I flew it earlier on 6 satellites. I was a little skittish of that. Let me reset this up here. Let me straighten this out. We'll move the the light back a little bit so it's not so piercing. And yeah, so I guess we can keep it tilted like that. So that's the new bird from Chris and Crystal that they sent me. That was like a brand new solo that needed to be parted out. It had Arducopter problems, so basically it had cube issues. It wouldn't fly. It was brand new and it just wouldn't fly. So they sent it to me as a parts bird. So I've been parting it out all day using the parts to rebuild the original solo. So the interesting thing is that red solo that you just saw had 600. I logged 645 flights on that red solo sitting on the table there. That one right there has had 645 flights in 3 years. Today, it crossed the threshold of 646 flights. If that goes to show you just how incredible of a machine it really is. And it failed because of a battery. It wasn't a motor failure or an ESC or brownout, any of that stuff. It failed because of the battery. So if you guys wanted to know the longevity of a solo, it's already almost 5 years old. And in the 3 years that I've owned it, I got it refurbished. So I don't know how many flights they put on it. It's probably had over 900 flights in its lifetime. And it has only had one motor change. And the only reason I had to change the motor was because I smacked it on a tree and it ripped the entire motor right out of the pod. So there you go. Just goes to show you how good the solo really is. I think it's ready to fly. I've got a fully charged battery waiting to go in it in the AM. I put the alpha antennas on there. I'm going to go through the rest of the parameters tonight to make sure everything is set up the way I like it. I'll turn the speed boosters up. And working on another 3DR battery mod right here. And I also have, let me show this to you too. Two selections for the battery mod covers now. Now we have one that says solo, and this is empty. So basically you just take your modded battery and you put it inside. You know what I'm saying? You put it inside the solo, and then this goes into the back of it. And if you notice, it has clip guards. It actually pushes down and clips into place. So you can use this battery mod to run new packs and still have that aesthetically pleasing look. Now this one is PLA and this one is carbon fiber. So you can see the difference in how this is printed. This is much tougher, much more durable. This one feels a little on the pliable side. If this took a hit, it would probably break a lot easier because this is just plastic. This is actually carbon fiber and has a little stretch to it. The guy that made this for me is Travis at Not Fast Enough. He makes a lot of Whoop frames and stuff for people, and he prints in carbon fiber mixture with PLA. So this is really cool. So once I get another 5,000 mAh battery pack, I'll go ahead and start running on the battery mods again. Just to show you guys that you get the right team of people together, you can really solve some problems. Well, thank you, Dan. I created the battery mod for a reason 2 years ago. Even though some people would like to try to claim my work, I created that for everybody. I'm still fighting about that. Everybody was complaining about not having batteries, and gimbals. So I showed people how to connect third-party gimbals and how to build their own batteries, and it kind of went weird from there. It's not really a comparison. You're not comparing the battery mod to stock. Think about it this way, Dan. The battery mod that I created was because these old batteries here. The original OEM packs, these 3DR packs, these are 5 years old. They're dying. They're failing. Like they're there's no company producing new batteries. And I kept getting tired of hearing about people's solos falling out of the sky. So what I did is I decided to create the battery mod. So what I do is I found that if I use Glue Buster, I can tear these apart and pull the battery management system out of them, which is that thing right there. Or in this case, once it's modded, it looks like this. This just allows you to take a 4S battery at 5200 mAh or lower and connect it to an XT60 connector and plug it into the Solo, and then you can run your Solo on hobby grade batteries instead of having to wait for a company to make you new batteries. And then when you do the battery mod, you would order one of these 3D printed cases so you can put it over the top of your mod and clip it into place just like a regular Solo battery. So to show you how that works, we'll take this battery off here, and you would plug in the Molex connector. So you'd take this, plug all this into the Molex connector, and then you would put this on top like this, right? If I can get it in there, and then you just click it into place, just like that. So now to undo it, you would do it normally how you would with your Solo, push the button and pull backwards, if I can get this one, and it just unclips. So you keep that aesthetically pleasing look with the Solo, and you can run on new battery packs of your choice. That's why I created the mod. Solo has a lot of life left in it, man. And there you go, Dan. That's what the mod is for, because they're all going to crap quickly. This one is shot. This one here is toast. This one's blinking and it refuses to take a charge. That's how bad the cells have degraded on this one. So I'm going to pull the BMS out of this one pretty soon and turn this into a mod. So yeah, man. I created the mod for all of you. William, what's going on? I have a Solo with a 3 battery GoPro and 3 bag. How much is it worth? Unfortunately, William, it's not worth much anymore. Honestly, guys, if you're thinking about getting rid of your Solo, trade it for something of value. Seriously, I traded a 3DR Solo for a car, a running car with 167,000 miles on it. I just went on Facebook Marketplace and started offering it to people, and some dude had an extra car and he was like, okay. So I drove the Ford Focus off of his property, and don't get me wrong, I ended up having to put a little work into the car after, 3 months. I ended up putting some parts in it and needing to do some things, but I traded it for a running vehicle. Like, I'm such a softie. Well, thanks, Lloyd. I don't know about a softie. I just want the Solo to keep progressively moving forward. I'm tired of people saying it sucks. Well, get a team together. It's open source. Create what you want, and then, adapt it to the Solo. It's not difficult, man. This wouldn't be possible if I hadn't taken the time to do these things. Like, if somebody doesn't put the effort forth to do these things, then it just fails. It's like any drone. Look at how long it's lasted the test of time already. It's a 5-year-old drone and people are still having a blast flying the damn thing. So what's up, Mike? I'll drop an invite link if people want to actually come in here. I'm just hanging at this point. Now that I finished with the Solo, I'm good to go low. There's a link. Feel free to pop in. Dan, if you're feeling it, come on in here, buddy. Talk to us. You can come right up on panel, man. We'll get you in here. Lloyd, if you're up for it, feel free. Whoever. You've got the link. What do you think, Mike? You think I've never tried the alpha antennas this way. As long as they're pointed outwards, they should be good to go. The only thing is, by having them up this way, is you can't bend them back further. That's it. So if you want to go higher with your Solo, you got to aim the controller. By putting them upside down, it gives you the privilege of having them constantly pointed at an upward direction and having your screen adjustable to your face. But I feel like I hate having to set the controller down with them like that, because then they just bend forward and then it looks weird every time you go to fly when it's like that. So I think I'm going to actually try these at an up angle and see what happens. I'm going to see if that makes any difference in how it keeps signal. I feel like it's going to be pushing the signal in a strange direction by doing this, but it might just be worth it. We'll see. It's my TV, so I don't have the web. It's all right, man. As long as you have a microphone, we can still hear you. You can still pop on. Just click on the link, write your name in real quick on your smart TV, and go from there. Oh, boy. I am exhausted, man. I've been working on this project for like almost 5 hours now, at least. Trone, Jerry, what's up, dude? Don't forget to smash the like button if you guys just popped in. Let's see if this is ready here. Hey, we're good to go. How much did that take out of it? Let's see what happens. There we go. Okay. All right, so I've activated stabilizing mode on this. We're going to see how this looks. Andrew, what's up? Andrew, when I have some cash flow, buddy, I'm going to take you up on that offer for the Phantom. So we'll have to communicate on Facebook, buddy. I got to get back to work before I can do that. Should I hit another thumbs down to make it an even number? Yeah, hey, Jared, go for it, buddy. You can't just have all likes. You got to have some dislikes, dude. It's controversy. It helps your algorithm. If you just get all likes, it sucks. It's not, YouTube doesn't see it as controversy. So you got to have a few dislikes and then a bunch of likes and then a few more dislikes and a bunch of likes. So I like to keep my hater posse rolling. I like to keep them coming back for more. Every time they pop back in, it's like a guarantee. Think about it this way. It's like a guaranteed view. You know they're going to come in daily and they're going to push the dislike button. And if you can convince them to come back again, then you're getting more of a payout. Like, I have no problem doing that. When the trolls realize they can't troll me, they still don't move on. They still keep trying. Like, in some way it incenses me or it bugs me or it gets at me. It really doesn't. I don't really care. But when you make things personal with me, that's when we have an issue. That's when it crosses the threshold. That's when you get the other side of me, But like I said, the dislikes don't faze me in the slightest. It's just like a guaranteed view daily, Pay me. That's all I care. Oh, dude, I hate that StreamYards doesn't show you what the symbols are and stuff. People type symbols and you don't get to see them. Ron, what's up? Like I said, I posted the link. If anybody has time and they want to come in, here you go. We're just gonna chat. Michael Mowry, what's going on, brother? Oh my God, that felt good. Well, Ron, I think she'll fly, bro. We just finished her up. I did a whole factory reset, replaced a ton of parts on it, new props, new gimbal, new everything, new motor, new antennas, new firmware, new legs, new leg extenders, a whole new life. So, yeah, man. Tomorrow's going to be the big day to find out if it's going to be a regular good flight or not. There we go. Ron is in here now. Let me drop him get him in here. There. Ooh. You gotta pause the stream.
Yep, I did.
Did I hear it? Oh, you paused it. Okay.
Yeah. How you doing, man?
Oh, dude. Better days, worse days. I've had all sorts of days. Oh, that's why. Okay, let's do that.
What category is today falling?
Oh, dude, today has been diarrhea day.
Oh.
It's been a fun one, man. I don't know. My body's been rejecting kind of everything today. So some days you got good days, some days you have bad days, man. Hashtag medical life.
How they say it, some days you're the bug, some days you're the windshield.
That's it. That is it.
Yeah. I just got home, man. I was way up in the woods, Yellowstone, the Tetons.
I saw that. I saw your pictures for today. That's
Yeah.
crazy, man. That landscape, the dynamics of
Oh,
those shots were beautiful, bro. Absolutely
oh.
gorgeous.
Matter of fact, Jim from Above and Beyond Drones, he's
Mhm.
just coming out to see me next August for the Sturgis Rally.
Oh, okay. Heck
Um,
yeah, Sturgis. I
I'm
used to
spending
go
a
up
day
there.
or so at the rally, but we're going to take off. I'm taking him some places he's never been before, and yeah, I got fairly close this morning, a little closer than I would have expected or wanted with a grizzly this morning.
Ooh,
Yeah,
dang.
he was about 30 yards, 40 yards, and I stopped the truck and I stopped it and walked out over this cliff just to look down for a view. And I'm like, nah, it's not the shot. And I turned around, looked across the street, and I'm like, holy shit, there he was. And he just glanced up at me 1 second, but just kept walking and went down over the hill. I'm like, that's too close. But didn't give me. I didn't have a camera in my hand at the time. Otherwise, I would have tried to grab a shot. But
Right. Yeah, that's
I've got a couple of videos on my channel there that I had some grizzlies last year. Just some beautiful, epic shots. But I'll tell you what, Dan. I mean, you guys, everybody in the world, I think, has their area of beauty. I mean, you got your
oh
beach,
yeah.
And Florida's got some beautiful scenic areas, but I'm a South Dakota, Wyoming guy, and I just love that area. It was kind of funny. I had two friends with me visiting from Pennsylvania, and I was just talking to Jim, and I was telling them, guys, bring warm jackets.
Yeah.
Okay. And I asked his girlfriend, I said, did you bring a warm jacket? Well, I kind of brought a windbreaker.
Oh boy.
We started out at, like yesterday, we started at around 4,800.
Ooh.
And that's where I kind of live around 46.
Right.
But we were over in Cody, which is around 48, 5,000. And we got up to 9,000. It was 28 degrees and 50 knot winds.
Right.
She was freezing her, what off.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. It was beautiful scenery. But man, she was like, oh my God, I can't take this. I got to get in the truck. Yeah, I told you to bring some clothes. I didn't give it up. I got mine on. I'm comfy, So, but anywho, yeah, I saw you on tonight. I thought I'd say hi and hello and see how the heck you're doing, man.
Well, I have been struggling with the Solo all day, man. It wasn't as easy as just putting a motor pod in. It has just been one open source problem after another. Yeah, I was all up in the parameters today on this thing, trying to figure out what went down. I finally just got tired and was like, oh, that's it. I'm going to scratch the whole system and start over. So I wiped it. And after I wiped it, I reinstalled 2.4.2. And then from there, I had to do the whole master reset. The compass calibrations and the IMU calibrations and all the other bum dingery. And you take the damn gimbal off to do all that, and then that didn't work, so I ended up having to switch out the GPS module. So I tore it down again, ripped out the GPS module, put a new one in there, and then I did another factory reset, and then it finally started produce. Well, we just found out that it worked because I just finished the second update, and I turned it on in the house, and it got eight satellites almost instantly inside the house. So,
oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that definitely fixed it. So apparently that GPS taking 100-foot tumble, smashing through the trees, didn't fare very well in that scenario. So, yeah, man. Real quick, Greg, look up Tattoo, Genzace Tattoo 5200 mAh at 14.8. at 35C with an XT60 connector. I know that sounds like a lot, but yes, check that out. Believe it or not, those are almost the identical original packs that came out of the Solo. The difference is, if you look at this, you'll notice that one of the cells on the top is staggered off to the left a little bit over the top of the Molex connector. If you can see that, you can see the shelf here, how it goes from that. You see what I'm saying? How it staggers that whole cell over to the BMS side. And so the cells that you get with the XT60 connector are lined up. They're all lined up. You can't undo them to stagger them. Otherwise, I'd just be pulling those apart and putting them back inside the original case and then shoving it back in here together. But unfortunately, that's a big no-no. So
yeah, and I just
I did type it in chat, Drone, Jerry. It's definitely in there. So okay, go ahead, Ron. Sorry, man.
no, that's right. What was the drone that you were telling me the other night where if it breaks down, you got to buy your own parts?
Yeah, that's any Unique product at this point. Yeah, Unique. I wouldn't even touch Unique with a 10-foot pole at this point. They have no service techs anymore. It's just they're just producing drones in their R&D department, popping them out like zits, and then expecting people to wipe the mirror off when they get the juices on it.
I mean, for somebody who don't know how to work it, how the hell do you fix one?
Well, that's the thing. They don't tell you that. So good luck. I didn't find that out until after I got the Typhoon H. They used to take a service ticket. Now, and unless it's probably a very new product of theirs, they're not messing with it. Like if it's any of their older lineup, they basically just don't take them back, repair them, fix them, nothing. They tell you where you can get the parts from, and then you have to kind of put them in yourself. It's a real joke. So.
Yeah, I was talking to my buddy tonight. He's wanting to get a drone within like well, I want something within the 6 months, and he was all talking about the Unique the Typhoon H.
I don't. But,
I want a big drone, because we do have high winds.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I said I was actually flying the Mavic 2 Pro yesterday, and I bet you 35 knot winds up on the mountain.
Right.
Granted, that thing was shaking all over, but with the 3-axis gimbal, man, the footage was actually pretty smooth. But that was his whole purpose behind it. I'm like, it's still I said, dude, I fly in an aircraft that's 50 times that size, and we have winds like that, it gets the shit knocked out of us, So I was telling him about what you said about you got to find your own parts and hope you know how to repair them.
Well, I actually did a video called Warning, Watch Before You Purchase Unique Products, and that was a year ago. I basically just told everybody, like, be careful buying these, because a year ago, this has been ongoing for over a year now. So I actually did the Typhoon H's FUBAR. I did a whole thing on my channel, and so I'm gonna show you that video while we talk. I'm going to screen share this, and we're going to go into a walkthrough of my FUBAR scenario here. Give me 1 sec to pause the audio here, and we'll go ahead and jump into. There we go. We're tearing it apart now to find out. So here's the thing. I got one that flew, and the legs retracted, and everything was gravy. So then we get over to this guy's house, and we're tearing everything down, and we're looking inside, and we realized that half the pin connectors had burned out. So he's showing me this wire right here. I don't know if I can pause it, but can you see the mouse?
Yeah.
Right here, somebody tried to fix whatever happened. They put a splice in the wire, and then they bypassed it through something else. And if you notice right here, these little coil things, right? These are actually SMA connectors for external antennas. So somebody had already gotten inside here and was tampering with it. But we realized that that wasn't why it was broken. He took on the project. See, now we're getting into the problems here. So we realized that half this stuff was soldered, and there were big singe burn marks all throughout the board. what happened was the drone tipped over on its side. Okay. And one of the motors caught the ground and it burned out, but it didn't just burn out the ESC, because look at what the ESCs are all attached to. What is it attached to? This gigantic board, right? And so when it failed, it took 3 other boards with it. It was like catastrophic failure across the entire unit. Yeah, sure, it would fly, but no FPV, nothing. It had burned out like all the FPV, anything that had to do with FPV and sequencing lock, it burned out. The S2 board alone, this tiny, tiny little board, was like $278, and that's not including now the fact that I would have to replace this entire board because it burned out parts of the circuitry on this board, right? Like flash burned it. Right. And somebody got in here and was like, oh, maybe I can fix this. And then they tried to do some things and it didn't work. So they put it all back together and they traded it as is. And, they were like, all they told me was like, oh, all you have to do is put this camera back together and attach it. We did everything else. And I got screwed on the deal, so I called Unique and I was like, hey man, I got this bird and it's got problems and, it's really in bad shape. And they said, well, what's wrong with it? I said, well, it looks like a bunch of stuff burned out on the board. And they go, oh yeah, we don't deal with the Typhoon H in our service department anymore, but I can direct you to where you can buy the parts and put them in yourself. And I was like, excuse me? What do you mean you don't have a service tech department for this? Yeah, well, we quit manufacturing the bird. So they don't make it anymore. They don't make the Typhoon H anymore. It's not on their assembly line. So they're not guaranteeing parts or anything. They just send you to the person they got the parts from, and then you buy it and you have to install it. And I thought that was the stupidest, dumbest thing I'd ever heard of, So I stepped away from the company at that point. I was like, I'm never buying another Unique product again. It's just not going to happen.
Are you saying they pretty much don't have any kind of warranty, or?
Well, no, on some of their newer birds, they might. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's new and they're still manufacturing it, they probably would take it back for servicing. But if they're not putting it out anymore, and they're like let's say you tried to send the Phantom 3 back to DJI, would they service it? Do you think?
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not. It's old. It's obsolete. They're not going to take it anymore. They may not. Most likely, they probably won't. They're going to try to get you to buy a newer package. So they're going to say they don't do these things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's frustrating because now you're losing my business. I did not realize Steve was in here. Steve, I apologize. How long have you been sitting there?
Enough to drink up that bottle of sake that was down here.
Oh, very nice.
Hey, Steve.
Hello, Ron. Dan.
Hey. So, yeah, hey, it's a great bird as long as you don't crash it or have any kind of problems with it. Okay, that's the reality of it. If your friend tips it over on accident, it's a little too windy and it just tips over and the motor catches while it's still under power and it burns out half the system, guess what? Drone's useless unless he's going to invest way more than it was worth. Think about it. If you had to buy the main board for that unit, that would be like $420 just for the main board. That's not including the right. So now let's put things in perspective. If you have to pay that much just for the boards, but you can get a refurb package for $450, why the fuck would I put money into this?
Yeah.
I
was telling Steve and Jim both, I've only ever had to deal with DJI twice for repair. And I did admit, the most recent was just in the last couple of weeks with my Osmo Action.
Right.
And apparently, but the thing of it is, I think when you call them, you got to be firm with them, and you got to let them know that, hey, you're not some rookie off the street. That this is my first drone, and oh my God, it broke, and I don't know what happened. When I called them about the camera, and I think Steve or Jim or somebody found me the link that what had happened to the Osmo Action is I charged it. Everything was working fine, and I charged it, and all of a sudden it died.
Yeah.
And wouldn't charge, wouldn't turn on, nothing. Found out in the forum that I'm not the only one with this problem. So I let them know that. I also let them know that on the forum, the DJI forum, that multiple people were complaining that they were calling in. They weren't getting the shipping label. They weren't, and I said, hey, am I going to have this issue?
Right.
Oh, no, you won't. You'll get it today. Sure as heck, man. 20 minutes after I did the repair form on GGI's website,
Mm-hmm.
label came. It took, granted, I mean, it was snail mail, but it took like 4 or 5 days to get to California from South Dakota.
Right.
They got it the one day. They sent me an email the next day saying, hey, this is the problem. And the day after that, we fixed it. It's on its way back to you. I'm like, you know what? You can't complain about that.
No.
That's actually pretty good service.
As long as they continue doing it, I get mad when the companies tell you that they're, still doing things with the drone, but they're not actually doing things with with the products that they're selling. It's like, look at what happened to Wingsland. Wingsland is the biggest joke that ever came to the market, man. I don't care that they're a U.S. company. They supported nothing after they made it. They were like, okay, we made it. We sold a bunch of them. Sorry, you guys are on your own. Goodbye.
Yeah. Kiwi, how you doing, man?
Good.
Good morning, yourself.
Hanging in there.
Good morning to you.
How's it going, Steve? Dan, how are you?
I'm
Pew,
good.
pew, 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 pew.
Pew, pew, pew. I'm good, man. Hashtag grow a pair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, man. That's my new motto, if anybody's wondering. Pew pew and hashtag grow a pair. So if I get a shirt made, it's gonna say pew 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 hashtag grow a pair. Drone worship.
And your new name is One Hung Low.
One hang low. That's it, man. That's it. I thought about changing my name to I don't know, something really, really creative for the ladies, but it's for another day. I wanted to put like, my name is Annual. I'll give you the D later.
Ooh.
Like that, huh? Yeah. It's a great pickup line. If your name starts with a D,
Yeah, the way to pick up chicks. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, well, we're buggered then.
See, we started telling jokes and like 7 people dropped out. They're like, well, it turned into that again. Bye.
Is it my fault? I better go.
No, we just have fun, bro. I don't care.
So where are you headed off to?
Who, me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I've just been and gone, and I went and got some puppy food and some milk, and yeah. Look, this is the correct side that you drive on. See, like, steering wheel's on. There's nothing there.
I used to have a right-hand drive RX-7.
Jap import.
Yep. I
Go
love
like
it.
shit off a shovel.
Bro, they run hard, man. Not gonna lie, dude. Those rotary motors are angry. They sound hilarious too, especially if you run them super, super, super lean. They just sound so gnarly, and just raw fuel just pouring out. Like, you could light a match behind an RX-7 that's running lean, and it would just light up the whole street. You drive around, you just smell like gasoline. You don't care because you're making such a ratty sound, anyways.
Yeah, fastest car I've ever been in was an RX-7, 275 kilometers an hour.
Yep,
and it was a PP13B.
Ooh,
and it was bark, 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 bark. Anyway, I've had 8 of them. 8 rotaries.
Beautiful machines, man. The RX-8 was kind of a joke, honestly, to me. I don't understand that the RX-8 was not anywhere in the class as the RX-7s. I don't know if there were some people that mod the RX-8, but not the way the RX-7s could produce power. The RX-8 was very limited compared to the RX-7 setup.
The best one of them all was the RX-3.
Yeah, there you go. Now you're taking it back in the day, dude, because I
had 2 of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I had an 87 RX-7, and it was angry. So, yeah.
It was a Porsche. It was a Porsche shape.
Yes, had that. Yes. So Yeah.
I couldn't fit in one.
Well,
I tried.
I used to not
go back far enough.
I used to not be so large.
Well, neither did I. Still couldn't fit in it.
If you got in, the problem was getting back out.
Hey,
I just couldn't get in. Full stop. Shoehorn, nah.
That's why I drive a F-150.
Yeah.
Dude.
you should see me cram myself in my little Mazda 3. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a lot of room in those Mazda 3s.
You think so, unless you're a 400-pound dude. You weigh
Hey,
400 pounds?
Hey, I'm 141 kilos, so it must be getting pretty close.
Oh. That's kilos.
Uh-oh. Ron's breaking his calculator out.
I was going to say, hold on a sec. Who's
I
going
gotta
to
do
crunch
this all
the
the
numbers
time
here?
at work.
Hey, by the way, Ron, did you tell Elvis?
2.2.
Did you tell Elvis I missed him dearly?
I did. He's
Good man. JDS flying Canuck in the house. You know, bugger.
So I take it Matthews is the ringneck deer in the middle.
Yeah, it's actually Elvis is far right. Matthew is in the middle, and Victor's on the right there. Oop, yep, right there. You got a couple other friends out in the living room. Yeah,
They're the second cousins.
second cousin. Yeah.
Well, we've got Seeker, Fallow, and Red, and Wapiti, and crossbreed Wapiti Red.
Wapiti?
Who?
Wapiti? What is that?
Wapiti. It's a Canadian elk type big red deer thing.
I'm fairly
Did you-
certain you're the only person here that knew that. Ron, did you know that?
I did not.
See? You got to explain things, bro. You can't just throw magical words at us and expect us to understand Hogwarts.
Have I got a Google link on my forehead?
Yeah, well, that's true. My phone's doing things, man. It's editing a video right now. Leave it alone.
Okay. Wapiti.
Wallapit?
No,
What did you
there's
say?
no L on it.
W-A...
Wapiti. P-I-T-I. Wapiti.
Wapiti. And what is that again?
Sounds like you're saying Wapatit.
Oh, we could do that too.
It looks almost like a caribou.
Yeah, it is. It's an import from Canada. I don't know what the Canadian name is for it, but they were imported here way back in the 80s
There you
to
go.
crossbreed with the red deer for meat, basically.
Ooh, it looks like an elk.
It looks like an elk.
That's what it looks like
That's
to me,
what
an
I said.
elk.
Yeah.
That's what I said, type of elk. So what they called them, I don't know. What they are is what they are. But yeah,
So it's a Wapatit.
Wapatit. Yeah.
Looks like a. We actually have 6 different breeds of elk in the U.S. That looks like a Thule elk to me.
Join us, JDS. Come on.
Ooh, a Thule oak with a Wapatit. Woo, it's getting rude now.
Yeah. Hey, Steve,
Yes, sir.
about 20 minutes after I talked to you today,
Uh-huh.
got up about 3/4 up the mountain and stopped. I'm like, oh, this looks like a beautiful view, man. Parked the truck, got out, walked about 30 yards, looked down over the edge, and like, nah. I mean, I'm looking for these epic shots. I'm like, no, it's not going to do it. I turn around. There's a big ass grizzly standing across the road. And I'm like, oh crap, my hand cannon's in the truck. Good place for it. I'm out of here. But he just looked over at me, and he was about, I'd say 30, 40 yards away. But just looked at me and then went down over, his side of the road and kept going. I'm like, oh, thank God.
That would have been about 2.2 seconds to be on top of your ass.
Yeah. Those grizzlies can move quick. What was so neat last night is we actually had trouble finding, and I guess I wasn't thinking ahead clearly, far enough ahead, but I knew what our destination town was going to be, and I didn't think it would be that busy, but every hotel was booked. I'm like, oh my God. and we found this place that had these cabins, and we ended up staying in a cabin last night. They had vacancy, but we booked in and went and had dinner, and it was about 11 o'clock. I was still up, and I walked outside, right outside of Yellowstone, and all you could hear was the wolves out there howling. It was actually pretty damn cool.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was cold. It was pitch black. Oh my God, it was dark. But it was just kind of neat experience. That's what I love about that area. You know,
Yosemite's the same way, especially if you're down in the valley and
Yeah.
at night, and at right getting towards sunset and the night, and then if the moon does come out, the wolves start howling, and it just echoes down the whole entire valley.
Yosemite Valley.
You will hear them. They just echo down the whole entire valley. It's fun.
You know, the animals in Yosemite sometimes are so damn tame. I remember one time I get out of my car and I left my door open to get a picture of this. What the hell was it? Something. I left the door open. I come back, and I should admit this, but I had stopped at McDonald's prior to going into Yosemite. There was a bunch of French fries left in my bag. And there was a damn coyote in my car, my rental car, munching on my French fries. I'm like, what the hell? There's so many people hand feeding them, and yeah.
Well, you know real well. I don't know if Dan knows it or not, and Mr. Mad here, but in Yosemite, one thing you do not do leave any food in your car whatsoever. If you've got an ice chest, you take it out and you lock it in the bins if you're camping, because they have the special bear-proof storage bins over there.
Yeah.
And even the trash receptacles have a special lever that goes all the way up and over the top of the bin and then locks it down. So it's like a two-step unlocking to unlock it and then open up the bin, and then you got to pull this big lever up in order to get it up just to put trash in the inside. Because those bears will go up there and rip open the side, just like right next to your shoulder there. They'll put their claws in there and they'll rip that car door right open in order to get in there to have dinner.
Yeah. Yeah, they have, obviously, I think it's the same pretty much any national park, but yeah, I was kind of bummed my buddies didn't see any grizzlies today. You know,
Yeah.
I got them loose at 7 o'clock to 6:37 this morning, and I had to get back home. I got things to do tomorrow and prepare, and because Wednesday morning I got to leave for work again. So
Yeah.
I wanted to stay and play, man. I really did. Going into a national park, got my cameras, drone not obviously, but outside the park. But I'm out there in the wilderness. I'm happy. Like, no, I got to go back home.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Save your bickies, Ron, and come to New Zealand.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll take that out.
Oh, dude,
Trying to find a song to put to my video here.
I could get into that. Wow.
What elevation are you at there?
We're about where I'm sitting right here, about 330 feet above sea level.
Okay, so you're not that high up.
No.
What kind of mountains elevation do you have there?
Oh, those ones there about I think about 800-900 feet above sea level to the top.
Oh, that it? Oh.
Yeah, but they're good size. It's a good it's a good hour and a bit walk up to the top.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I live at 46. I had my friends up at 11,000 last night. Yeah, they were sucking wind like an old lady in church. And
yeah, we've got mountains like that too. There's some awesome country over here, mate. Like epic.
You got some high elevations there, though.
Oh shit, yeah. Through the Nevis Pass, you go in at Bannockburn and you come out on the Queenstown Invercargill Road. And yeah, you get altitude sickness. You're getting up there high, you know, when you're not used to it.
Yeah.
But some epic country over here too.
Yeah, that's what happened to my friend's girlfriend yesterday. I was telling Steve, they don't listen. They're coming from the East Coast in Pennsylvania. They're, I don't know, 300-400 feet, and they come out here to my place. I'm at almost 5,000, but then we went up to 10-11,000 last night. And I kept telling them, warm clothing and water, the two must things, because high altitude will dehydrate you quick. And his girlfriend got sick yesterday. She severe headaches, started throwing up. I'm like, yeah, she got high altitude sickness. Told her. I said, what, were you drinking water today? No, iced tea. It's water. Oh, jeez. Women.
No, water and coffee don't cut it. You need water, water, water. Like going to Mammoth in the Sierra Nevadas that we ski here. In order to get into town, town is roughly right about 8,000 feet in town.
Yeah.
The lodges are at 9,000, and the top of the mountains at 11,053.
And we're closer to 14, Steve. That one mountain up there in that range. Whitney, that's what it is.
Yeah, it's quite a bit higher.
Yeah.
But you go up there, and the first thing you see, people, the waitresses and waiters, and anybody, even if you're going to drink, they're piling glasses of water right next to your drink or beer or your food, and pitchers everywhere in town. They're just water flowing everywhere to keep you hydrated, because you will get altitude sickness, and it's no fun.
It's not fun.
No, especially if you're there on on a holiday. That's the last thing you want to have happen to you.
Yeah. Hey, Dan, can I do a share screen?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm kind of working on my edit and talking here and listening.
Yeah. I was going to show you guys where I was at today. I can find it again.
Oh my God, it's me times infinity.
Steve, here's where I was telling you about today. This is the one, Chief Joseph Highway coming out of Cody, Wyoming, which is about 40 miles, 50 miles east of Yellowstone.
Right.
I was out flying the drone today, and about 25, 30 knot winds, but just beautiful, just beautiful scenery up there.
Wow, beautiful.
You can't even tell them in high winds. And then
it's hard to believe that was seabed once upon a time.
Yeah.
In fact, right across the freeway from where I live, the school, when they were building it, now mind you, we're only maybe a couple hundred feet like you are above sea level. They found the skeleton as they were excavating of a gray whale, complete. They had to shut down the whole excavation, and they dug it all up and they took it out. And it's actually up here in a museum here in California.
Really?
Cool.
Fully intact.
This is up in the Tetons. I was out flying this about 7 o'clock this morning. The sun was just coming up, and then I had all this fog coming off this little lake.
Yeah.
But these mountains are up about 9,000 here.
Oh, it's beautiful, bro.
Well, look at the reflection.
Yeah. Yeah, it was some beautiful country, man.
Is that limestone?
Yeah, part of it, kind of like limestone and
yeah,
a little bit of everything up there. But yeah, some beautiful, beautiful scenery. Show you one more. If I can find it. I got so much footage, I've lost track.
Oh, there's the porn pics. Couldn't hide those for too long.
Yeah. Yeah, this was up in the one mountain here. The whole mountain was just starting to turn colors, and these ones go up to 10, 11,000 here, right up in here. Anyhow, that's where I was at today.
Why is it leaning? What is that just the elevation? Is it still horizon flat?
Oh yeah, it's just what I was doing, I was panning the camera.
Jesus. Yeah, but it looks like it's rolled left almost, but that's a flat horizon shot.
Yeah.
That's intense.
Yeah.
That's
It's pretty
what
brutal.
it's like in the Swiss Alps, mate.
Oh yeah, you got stuff, yeah.
See, this is why I feel like I really feel like people have become so desensitized by drone footage because people aren't putting the time and effort into like color correction and learning how to actually pull the dynamics of the shot out. So
Yeah.
people just watch a drone video and like, whoa, okay, it's another drone video, and they don't really support each other the way they should. But when you take footage like that, dude, and you can see the dynamics of the shot, it's incredible.
That's raw out of the camera. I haven't even done any correction on it yet.
I live for this, man. That's just clean then. What did you shoot that with?
I was with the Mavic 2 Pro.
So standard settings, no like pro tuning was applied, nothing?
Nope.
That's pretty good. That's probably the best footage I've seen.
Yeah, it's I had a discussion with someone earlier. But
Manic, what's up?
there was a Steve and Dan, we both know this person, but
Feel free to join us, Manic. Sorry, Trevor.
it kind of cracks me up that a certain person still keeps flying behind the lake behind his house.
Oh, knuckles deep.
Over
That's right.
and over and over. It's like, dude, find another place to fly. Dear God. Steve, would you know who that is?
I have no clue. Whoa. There's a video sitting on my site.
I'm half tempted to show a picture.
Don't be half tempted, Dan. Come on, man.
Commit, huh?
So I've missed something here. How did your broken Solo fly with this new gimbal in it?
That's the footage I'm editing right now.
Okay.
So the gimbal is not too bad. I have to remember, no matter what I've done here, it's a $40 gimbal. You're never going to get perfection out of these things, but it gives you the availability to run newer cameras with things like ultra stabilization and stuff. So even though the GoPro Hero 4 can't stabilize it, I can stabilize it in my software at the moment until I get a better camera. And honestly, I would like to run a Hero 7 or an Osmo Action on here with the fluid motion stuff running to see what that looks like, because I think it would change the entire feel of how the Solo looks when it flies.
What about
even if you do get any kind of shakes or vibrations, the stabilization software will just cut it right out, so you won't even notice it.
Can you bastardize a broken Spark for the image stabilization that they have on those 2-axis gimbals?
No.
Okay.
I'll just buy a camera that's got it built into it. Like, I can't figure out which one's better. I think I need to start looking at a test between the Hero 7 and the Osmo. I don't know which one produces better 4K. But it would be awesome to shoot in 4K stabilized, plus have the stabilization of the gimbal as an added, you know what I'm saying, assist with that. I think that'd be cool. Who popped in here? Yeah.
I had my first experience with Hero 7 this weekend, and granted, his footage looked good, but it still has that fisheye look.
Mm-hmm.
I think you saw my video with the when I had the Osmo Action in my pocket when I was flying in the helicopter.
Yes, it looked really good.
If you take a close look at that, You'll see the dash panel up in the front cockpit, how it's vibrating.
Mhm.
But then look at the footage outside, outside the aircraft,
Right.
and it's silky smooth. And that's the whole reason I did it, was a test to see how well it would. And again, I'm not hand holding it. I had it in a selfie stick and just put it in my pocket. But I tell you what, I was pretty pleased with it.
Yeah, so that's gimbal operated, no? Why did Manic drop out? I thought he was gonna. Oh, we had Manic for a second. I guess he bailed.
Are you a chopper pilot one or a fixed wing?
Helicopter. I do both, but
I wonder if he's having a problem with his computer.
Oh, maybe.
I remember he had to send that computer in.
Mike. Knuckles Deep is afraid of confrontation from anyone that may complain about him flying a drone, so he won't leave his house unless his wife can come protect him. That's probably the truest thing I've heard all week, honestly. Oh, God. That's funny. So I'm running it through very basic stabilization here. The Hero 4 was never meant to be stabilized, and I only shot in 1080. Now, next time, if I choose to do this, I could probably render in 4K, right? And stabilize the 4K footage, making it much more clear, a lot better. But bear in mind, guys, I make all of my videos on my cell phone. Now, I do pay for premium editing on my cell phone, but at the same time, the stabilization is nowhere near as something good as you could get for, computer software. It's decent, but it's not, amazing. It definitely does help cut out the vibrations and wobbles that you get from third-party gimbal setup. But this will never be the same as the Solo gimbal. It just never will, But I'm not asking it to be the same. I don't want it to be the same. I just want to run newer cameras and be able to cut out the vibrations in Jello, And if I can do that with Ultra Smooth and still shoot with newer cameras, that's a plus in my book. That's what I'm aiming for,
That's a huge fix for it.
So that's what we're aiming for.
It's an upgrade.
Well, how much is the Hero 7 these days?
I have no idea. But I haven't been at work in a month and a half now. I'm coming up on 2 months now. I haven't been at my job or had a paycheck coming in, so I'm not buying anything.
Oh no, I know. Because
I know how you feel, Dan. I know how you feel.
Yeah, we've all been there. That's for sure.
My last job was the 21st of December last year.
Mr. Crowley, what's going on? Sorry, it took me a minute to respond there, buddy. You're welcome to join us. I guess Trevor wasn't popping in, but Mr. Sean, you're always welcome in. Sorry, I cut off somebody. Go ahead.
Hey, Dan.
I was just looking at that the Hero at Costco right now, and I think they were like $349.
Right.
They're for $319.99.
For the Hero or the Osmo?
Hero 7.
Yeah. Can I just share that with you, Dan?
What is it?
Can I just share that footage with you from the?
Yeah. Dude, I have no problem sharing anybody's footage as long as you say it's okay.
No, I always ask first. But here, if you look right, can you see it right here?
Yeah, make it big though.
Yeah.
Go full screen.
There you go. Full screen it.
If you'll notice right here in the bottom right corner, that's the console.
Uh-huh.
Look at it vibrating, but then look at the footage.
Hold on. I wanna make this. Oh, I can't. You're the only person that can do full screen layout.
No, you can make the whole thing go full screen.
Do you see how that's vibrating?
Okay, hold on though. Hold on.
Shit, that looks like flying over West Otago here, mate.
Here's
the single screen down there on the bottom.
Here's the deal though. It's not actually not doing its job. If you notice, the gimbal's actually moving with what it's resting on. So you see the seats moving because the gimbal is stabilizing as it's going. So actually that's
even right here, Dan. Let me show you this.
It's legitimate.
Right here, my whole body is vibrating.
Right.
Because we're going into what they call transition phase.
Sure.
the landing. But look how smooth that is.
No, it's fantastic. That's why I said the gimbal's doing an amazing job.
Yeah. All right, let me.
Is that a full electronic dash readout?
Oh yeah, full glass cockpit, man.
Dude, what would happen if that failed?
We go back to old school.
Shit.
And I'm not sure some of the pilots would be able to do that, but
Well, you said no gimbal. You said that was the Hero 7 or that was the
no, that was the Osmo.
That's what I thought. And the Osmo
Yeah,
is
no
gimbal. Gimbal. Isn't it gimbal driven though? Doesn't have the Spark camera on it?
No, it's just the Osmo on a $5 selfie stick.
The Osmo Action Cam.
Yeah.
That's what I want. Yeah, that thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I would hope to get from the Solo if I put it on there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I got it.
What's the chopper? Squirrel.
Say again.
Is the chopper a squirrel?
I'm not sure what you're asking.
A squirrel. The chopper, the helicopter.
Yeah.
What breed is it?
Oh, it's a German. It's what they call an EC 145. It used to be made by MBB, which is the Messerschmitt. Messerschmitt. Yeah. They joined forces with the French back in the 90s, and they became a company called American Eurocopter. And but the model is called the 145, EC 145.
Now, let me ask you a question. What do you have the camera with you? You don't.
Yeah.
Can I see the ports and what side they're on?
Yeah. This
will tell me a lot of which one I'm going with, honestly. This will be kind of the deciding factor right here if I'm going to choose the Osmo over the Hero 7. Now, I know that your camera's backwards. You're going to have to point which side is right and which side is left.
Right.
If you were staring at the back of the camera, which side would the ports be on?
All right, the back of the camera.
Right.
You're looking at the back of the camera, so it would be
left side.
My right would be your charge and your SD card.
Okay.
And
HDMI? Tell me it has HDMI.
It does not have HDMI.
Oh, well, there you go. World ender right there.
Uh-oh.
Yep. No HDMI means not helpful to Dan.
Really?
You gotta have an HDMI to be able to plug in the HDMI. See what I'm saying?
Does the Hero have that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. Big no to not have it. I feel like everybody should have it. That way you can just plug it right into your TV and run it to HDMI. Do you see the HDMI cable now on the side of it?
Yeah.
That's full HDMI layout that goes right up into the Solo and communicates with it. So yeah, not having that is immediate downside. I can't do anything with it because I won't have FPV.
Oh, I didn't know the Hero had that.
Yep.
Well, hell, go with the Hero.
Yeah, that's what I said. I think the Hero 7, even the white one, has an HDMI port on it. So
I mean, my buddies was pretty good. It still had that fisheye look.
Mm-hmm. Medic, he's back.
Trevor!
Oh, crikey!
How's it going, Digger?
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
If I say yes,
Yeah.
Are you going to walk out of my closet right now?
Yeah, that's it.
Did anybody get that joke? Yeah.
I did.
Okay, all right. Isn't
I'm
it?
still on my laptop. I'm waiting for my computer to arrive today.
Oh.
It's bad bandwidth for this laptop.
So did they find out? Do you know what's the matter with it yet?
No, I'm a bit pissed off. They haven't given me a report or nothing. The only reason why I know it should be coming today is I've got a email from the courier, which is toll transport, and it states that it was picked up from their depot where they're fixing my computer, and it's on its way to my address. So
Oh.
I'm basically getting and it's on urgent listing. So it's on the faster service, and that's the only reason. And I've sent them emails, and they haven't got back to me yet.
Oh.
But I'm sure I'm sure it must be all good news if they haven't said anything.
So it's on the fastest kangaroo.
Yeah, it's on the fastest kangaroo. Yeah.
Well, they didn't have any Tasmanian devils there to cling it onto and send it over there high speed.
No, because we're on the mainland. They only have Tasmanian devils in the zoos here or in Tasmania.
Yeah, well, can't they? You know, they can
Tasmania
bring
is
some over on the wall.
Tasmania is as far as New Zealand is away.
I thought Tasmanian devils were extinct.
No, that's
Oh,
a
that's a
Tasmanian tiger.
Tiger.
Yeah.
Yeah, the meat
Yeah,
eater.
they're a dog. They actually were a dog, but it was striped dog, so they called it a tiger.
Yeah.
It's a
My bad.
tiger.
It's a tiger.
The
I
eye
haven't-
of the tiger.
Trevor, I haven't seen you in a while, man. What's been going on, bro?
Oh,
That's
I haven't
luck.
had any sleep all last night through pain. I've been sick. I've been in hospital. Yeah, and I've had a bit of a falling out with Nay, and yeah, it's all been happening for me. But shit happens.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to hear you were in the hospital, sir. The good news is you're out.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. There's all positives at the end of it. I mean, I'm not
Okay.
dying. Well, I could be dying, but I'm still living, I should say.
We're all
Yeah,
dying. We're
We're all dying.
clock's ticking out on all of us, no matter what.
Yeah,
Getting around to it's a hard part.
So I've had some
Well-
ups and downs, but I'm still trying to keep a smile on my face.
Good for you.
I got my plaster off, Trevor.
Have you? Oh, wicked! See, I like good news from other people. I don't
Well-
like drowning myself in sorrows.
I'll show you. I'll show you my little avatar. I'll turn the video off and I'll show you the screws. I was shocked at the X-ray when I saw it.
Oh, cool! Do it, yes, please. Oh, wicked!
Whoa.
See, you got a pair of big ones there.
Almost as big as Dad.
Yeah.
I thought you said Dad, so you're talking about Dan.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's. I've listened to my accent coming back, and I was thinking, shit, is that what it really sounds like?
Yeah, it's the
That's
same
what it
thing.
really sounds like.
I listen back to mine too. It's funny how we got a big different accent from being on He's So Close.
Oh, I know. I'm going to have to speak like I did when I was in England.
In England. In England. And
Ingalingalinga.
anyway, how are you,
Let's see.
Steve? How are you, Dan? How are you, Kiwi?
I'm good.
And how are you, Ron?
Hey, Trevor, how are you, man?
Good. I come on when you were praising Ron up. Yes, I've always said Ron does some really good cinematography footage on his drone.
Oh yeah.
He is absolutely awesome. I've been saying it to everyone.
Well, thank you, Trevor.
Well, that's
Well, what Ron needs to do is get himself one of those big gimbals and put the camera on the outside of the helicopter. He's got. He's
Yeah.
flying his own drone.
If I could convince my bosses of that,
Hey,
trust me, the idea has been brought up.
well, tell your boss there's money in it.
so
Yeah.
much money. All right,
gotta
so
spend
So
the bank
even
to
if
make
it's a
it.
lie, even
here's
if it's a lie.
here's the Hero 7 HDMI port. See what I'm saying? How it's on the right side? And that's where it's always been there. Every camera they produced that had HDMI first kick over, they started putting them on the right side. So that's what the Solo demands, that you have that port. You got to have it. You know, without it, it's not going to have FPV. So I guess I made my decision. There's no other route here. I'm going to go with the 7 Black when I get a chance.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Just-
no,
Well, Hey, I've just come up with another idea for you, Dan. Is I'm sure you'll be able to find a GoPro Karma that's been broken. You'll be able to utilize that gimbal. It's all ready to rock and roll.
One that's been fallen from the sky.
Yeah.
Mr. Crowley.
Ed, what's going on? I know you've been sitting in there, man. I'm talking. I'm trying
How
to
you
trying
going,
to.
Sean?
I think Sean
Oh.
just froze.
Oh,
Did.
poor Sean.
Anyway, froze.
No,
You're frozen.
I have to apologize to Sean because my battery went flat halfway through his live show early hours of my morning this morning.
Hey, Sean,
And
just turn your cam off for a sec, and then turn your cam back on and see what happens.
All right. Let me,
Anyway, we know how good looking you are anyway. We don't need to see your face.
Yes, sexy face, you.
Yeah. Zeus.
Well, that video is done, man. You guys will get to see the hell of it. I didn't do all of it. I didn't show the whole factory reset and all that crazy crap, but
I don't know if everyone knows Tony from Golden Retro Movies.
Uh-huh.
Right. Steve does, and a couple others. Mr. Crowley knows him. Evidently, he used to be a stripper when he was younger too, and you never ever see that. You never ever think that.
I was a male gigolo.
you
Get
know,
paid to pedicure women.
you know what? You'd be fun to play with there, Manic. You'd be fun in the game. Never have I ever. Can you say that?
I don't know if I can say that.
Yeah.
That's a
Give
bit
it,
of a tongue tie for me.
give it a shot. Never have I ever.
Never have I ever.
There we go. Now say it fast.
Never. I can't. I'm tripping over my tongue as soon as I try to say it. Far.
Pick to pick a pickle peppers.
How many
Oh,
pipers
good.
did Piper pick?
I get a little excited when I'm about to try to say it. I sort of start laughing.
Nothing better than excitable Australian.
hmm
Your computer still broke?
I'm supposed to be hoping to have it today, but because I got an email that it was on its way from Sydney yesterday, Monday. It was picked up Monday morning, and they've had it for a week, so it should be ready.
That's not bad. That's pretty quick turnaround.
Well, you got to, yeah, that's exactly right. Compared that, you've got to make sure it's got to get there. It's got to get picked. It's got to be checked over, see what the problem. Then they've got to order the parts.
Hmm.
I'm quite pleased. I was expecting a lot longer, but I'm just pleased and excited that hopefully it will get here sooner than later, because you know how you are when you think it's Christmas
Just lost.
again.
Oh my God, I thought you were about to show me some kind of like crispy croissant, something of greatness, and then I realized it was your dog. I thought you were about to take a bite out of your dog. Yeah, your dog's like, what the hell? Did you see the look the dog just gave you? That was amazing.
She's wondering what the hell I was doing, what she wanted me to do, wanted her to do for me. But anyway,
Oh, you want me to crawl in? Huh? Huh, big guy? Yeah,
she's
man.
a bugger.
So Steve will give it a shot tomorrow with a full battery and hopefully 13 or more satellites.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Kiwi, rough day, dude. You were asking about the solo. Yeah, rough day, bro. I've been at it for 5 or 6 hours now. And
Right.
that's not including the time spent already putting it back together, motors, legs, everything else, running the compass and the stuff back through the, and changing the GPS module, all that fun jazz, not including all that, all firmware problems and software issues. So apparently,
And
Hmm?
have you had any sleep yet?
Dude, I don't sleep. Steve knows. I say goodnight to everybody, and then I'm up at like 7 a.m. answering questions and talking to people, and
Hey, Dan,
yeah,
asked a silly question based on what you just said.
uh huh.
Does your battery power, does that have significance on the amount of satellites you can pull in?
Not really. I mean, it doesn't take much juice to pull to the sats. Like, for instance, the FPV is probably pulling more than the GPS needs are. You know. So.
No, because you said, hey, I'm going to have full battery power tomorrow.
Oh, well, because today's flight, I didn't use a fully charged battery. I went up for like 5 minutes, buzzed the neighborhood a little bit. Just as soon as I changed the GPS, it wouldn't pass 6 satellites. It just stayed on 6 satellites. It would not allow me to go past that. And so I was flying around super uncomfortable because I'm like, man, 6 sats is really not a lot. If I lose one, it's going to go into altitude hold. And, if I'm out of range when it does that, holy shit. Where's it going to go? I'm used to having like 12 to 15 satellites on the Solo. So to only get 6 is like not a very good position lock at all. Like if it lost 1 satellite during that flight, it might not come home again. So
what's the general rule of thumb? I'm trying to remember what they say you really shouldn't take off with anything less than how many satellites?
Well, no, look, man, if the Solo can do 6, that's the limited number.
Well, not just Solo, but pretty much any drone.
I would say, in my opinion, never take off with less than 8.
Yeah.
That's a pretty stable lock. Anything after 8 or 10 is excessive. Like GLONASS is great. Yeah, it makes for a really super stable signal lock, but it's unnecessary to have that many satellites, honestly. It really is. Anything after 8 or 10 is like just crazy, too many. And this doesn't even run GLONASS. So this will only connect to U.S. satellites. There's no Russian satellite activity on this one. There's no GLONASS setup for this. So, and you could hook like an MRO GPS up to it or something like that, where you could do GLONASS and US, and you'd be getting like 25 satellites. What the hell do I need 25 satellites for? You know what I'm saying?
The reason I say that is today I got for the first time ever, I saw a message, from the Go4 app.
Mm-hmm.
It said my, what did it say? My satellite, strength weak.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So when I flew it, I kept it in line of sight. So I'm like, definitely I kept it kind of close over there. If it would lose, I could fly it, in ATI mode or whatever home. But, but there's a couple times today, like I flew it and it was good satellite strength, but I flew it up over a hill and, every time it did it to me twice today. And I'm just thinking because I was out in the middle of nowhere.
It doesn't really bother me just for the fact that as long as it's not a malfunctioning part, if it does lose satellites for some weird reason, a cloud goes overhead or whatever the case is, it's only going to drift for like a minute until it finds sats again, and that's going to reconnect and go, oh, okay, I'm good, and it'll stay there as long as you still have signal. You know what I'm saying? So the Solo does this interesting thing where if it loses signal and it's just flying off into the middle of nowhere, and so now you don't have controller signal and you don't have GPS, it'll just keep going with the wind until it gets a sat lock, and then when it connects to sats and realizes it doesn't have a signal, it goes, oh, I'm coming home, and then it starts its transition back to the house. I don't know how DJI does things, but that's how the Solo operates. I would assume yours does the same thing. So it's not really a big worry unless you're having like mechanical malfunctions of a part or something. I wouldn't see it as being a big deal unless you're close to a building or you're doing an inspection of something.
Or a hill, you're down in a canyon.
Right.
Blocking you.
So, yeah, if you're just out flying around high in the air and it loses reception or GPS, I mean, it's not really a big deal. In a couple seconds, it's going to reconnect. Now, when it doesn't, you'll have a fluidity moment where you'll be screaming at your wife and running around like a madman and hyperventilating and punching yourself in the face,
Well, even right here, right now, it's saying I've got 15 satellites here right now.
Right. See what I'm saying? Yeah. Visible. Doesn't it tell you visible sats?
Yeah, but you got to remember, not only are you hitting your head with your one hand, you're punching the buttons with the other.
Yeah. Come on, man. Guy's a glutton. Knuckles Deep is a glutton for punishment, dude. I don't even like.
I had to think about that for a second, Dan. The Knuckles Deep, and like, oh yeah, I remember the picture Dan shared that.
I'm surprised Jim's not on here. He just commented on one of my videos. I guess he doesn't know we're live.
Yeah, he does. I was talking to him.
Oh,
Coming on.
Well,
Jim normally
That's
pops
what-
in.
He
the
was
time
on
is
there.
coming in, guys. The time
Is he
is
married
coming
yet?
in.
Did he get married to Nacho?
Who?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're going on like a married couple they were the other day.
Who?
Nacho came and visited Jim the other day.
Yeah.
Dennis, I
Dennis,
don't know.
Taco
last name.
Rolling or Nacho Rolling?
yeah.
Yeah, Nacho Rolling, yeah.
Who is Nacho Rolling? This is the third time I've heard about him now.
His name's Dennis. He does 360 camera
Not
footage.
sure
He's-
Riders is
he,
live.
he does some really good work.
He does stuff
Mainly,
like he goes everywhere on his bike. When I first met him, he was he does it's not CT, it's ultrasound.
Uh-huh.
He's an ultrasound tech, and he does agency work where he does 13 assignments anywhere.
that's
he wants
right.
to go. And he was out in Oregon, and I remember when I first met him, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to be out here." And my buddies and I were going out to Oregon on the motorcycles, and I met up with him. And then when he was leaving Oregon back in last month, or no, in August, he was going back to Pennsylvania on his bike, and he kind of broke down in Sturgis. So I went and picked him up. Yeah, and brought him to my. Steve, you were there that day. We did the live stream with Claude.
Yeah,
This dude.
that was hilarious.
Yeah.
He visits he visits as well as the camps at different people's couches and houses and stuff. That's how he does his accommodation
Yeah.
sometimes. And but I think he only just went and visited Jim the other day. Is that correct? You'd know more.
Yeah, he's
Steve,
like 2 hours from Jim. When he
oh,
was,
right.
I kind of felt bad for the dude, man. I picked him up. I said, I got to go to work in the morning, and I kicked him out at 3:30 in the morning because I have to leave for work
Oh,
at 3:30 in the morning.
really?
Yeah. So,
He'd be used to. He'd have some. He'd be used to that a bit.
matter of fact, he was there. He was at my house the night that Mr. Captain Knuckles Deep did the ballistic thing on Ken. Watching the whole thing, just both of us were hysterically laughing.
Yeah.
What do you think, Marcus? I'm sorry.
I think the best one though was Dennis stalking Jim on Saturday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Jim's having a nice flight. There's a drone flying over his head going, oh, it must be the neighbor stalking me now. It was Dennis about 5 blocks away, had come in from Tampa, had parked his bike, flew the drone, and then found his house and started buzzing his house. And he was live at the same time Jim was live. They were both broadcasting live at the same time.
That's hilarious.
And then
Yeah, that would be good to watch. Actually, that would be.
it
Fun.
was actually funny because then Jim's wife came out and was yelling at him or something about the other drone, and he's like, "Oh, he's like, yeah, I don't know who this is. This is gonna get me in trouble or something." Yeah, you have to watch the video. It was kind of comical. And he found out, and then Nacho pulls in. A couple minutes later.
What would have been really cool if he'd have just let the drone hover, got back on his bike, and then drive in, and it would have shown him coming into the driveway. That would have been cool.
Yeah. Yeah, Nacho's an interesting character.
Very interesting.
Mhm.
Yes, he's like you, Dan. He likes to troll people on their live streams.
Wait. I don't troll people, man.
No, nicely. Hear me out. Nicely, you know how you make comments and whatnot, and you're thinking, is this guy for real? He makes some really interesting comments. I
Yeah.
call it a form of trolling.
I'm not there to troll. I'm there to remind people that YouTube is about having fun. It's
Oh, he does
you
too.
know, it's funny that the way I'm doing it is causing hate. And that's amusing to me because I pop in and I am the type of guy in a room full of dudes that will tell poop and fart jokes. Okay? That's just who I am. Some people have, you know what I'm saying? Like when you're a little boy, they're funny, and when you're a grown man, they're still funny. If you can't convince yourself a good poop and a fart joke isn't funny, then you have a problem. So I pop in and I tell a good poop and a fart joke, you know, and people are like, that's that DW guy is always talking about crapping his pants, you know, like just laugh. It's funny, bro. I got big balls. What do you want me to say? You know, hey, they hang low, bro, to the flow. I gotta have some fun. You know.
That's like my old boss used to tell me. He said, "I don't care how old you are. Somebody farts, you're gonna laugh."
You're gonna laugh, exactly.
You do. Like, and it's funny how often you still do, even if it's a stranger, and you just still smile or whatever.
Right. It's an amusing thing. Like it's part of your natural response to do it. So why can't we talk about it? Why is it such a gross thing to talk about? I'm not talking about what my turd pellets look like in the toilet. I'm just saying poop.
Or how big the corn is in your
Right.
your
You know,
poop.
well, I've done that a few times. I was like, corn? I don't remember eating any corn. Where did that come from? You know.
It's like Japan, isn't it? Like, you know, you have a big feed and you fizz and fart and pop and burp.
Right.
That's a compliment in their country.
But I feel like people have misplaced this sense of you have to cater to the kids. I'm a hobbyist. I'm just doing what I want to do. I'm not trying to be a professional. I'm not trying to be any. I'm just having fun. It's me on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to cater to the kids. If the kids happen to watch it, then they watch it. I mean, they've heard worse on the playground. Am I really stressing what they hear and hear? You know what I'm saying? If things get out of context, then I shut it down. Well, all right, that's a bit far. Let's stay on. You know, you can tell some poop fart jokes, have a little bit of fun. It doesn't get carried away. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, people are like, oh, you can go to jail for saying the F word and a kid hears it. That is baloney. Let me tell you something. Have any of you actually read through the YouTube guidelines? It says nothing about dropping an F-bomb on somebody. If your kid is old enough and you've allowed them to join the app, then guess what? They're going to hear some things they might not hear in the regular world if they don't surround themselves with it. That's part of the big, wide world web. I'm not up here showing you titties. I'm not up here showing you vagina. I'm not up here, you know. Well, Steve, we had a classic case of that during Mel's birthday party. Or was it your birthday party or was Mel's?
Mine.
Yours. And unfortunately, that was a boo-boo. And YouTube sees that as a boo-boo. But that's why I never liked it when people share pictures. I don't care if you show a video or, you know, whatever the case is. But you got to be careful when you share pictures and stuff like that, because that can be taken as, well, I think you got the you know, the whole blunt side of that from it. But the whole point is, you could say whatever you want. Shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucking shit, fart, turd, and twat. I'm still going to be here on YouTube tomorrow. They're not banning me. Nothing's going to happen. Enjoy your ride.
You rehearsed that from George Carlin.
You know, so get up. If your little badass kid is up at 12:44 in the AM, he's about to hear some language he doesn't normally hear. But that's parenting. You need to make sure your kid doesn't have a phone at night. That's your issue, not mine. Turn your kid's computer off, take the battery and power cord, and roll out.
Well, it's like TV, isn't it? The kids the kids limit's 9 o'clock in the evening. Anything after 9 o'clock, you got nudity, shagging, everything going on. So what's the difference? There is no difference.
Tony from Golden movie retro movies. I frequent his live stream all the time, and when I was sick, there's a manic magic that showed up, and it wasn't me, and he let me on his panel, and it was this guy rolled over with his penis and flashed it, and he had to take the live stream down. I had no idea what was going on because I wasn't around. For a long time, he wouldn't let me on.
Well-
He thought it was me.
Now that's the thing, though. I've done that too. When I used to have Google Hangouts, I started. You don't know who you're bringing in. You just send an invite, and all of a sudden they jump in. Well, that was the issue with this. Was I sent the invite, the guy jumped in, and his dick was hanging there, and he was waving it in front of the camera. He was trolling the stream, and I made it an open stream, and I'm like, this motherfucker really had the audacity to come on here and do helicopter dick to a bunch of dudes on a panel. What a weirdo.
Yeah.
And after that, I became a little more conservative as to who I bring on the panel, who I'm putting it out there for. I like StreamYards because it makes it so I have to see the person first. I have to
Exactly.
know who you
I
are.
thought it was me.
So
He invited me in.
Right.
You see, he thought it was me, and it wasn't.
Man, I got to tell you a funny fart story.
ah,
This is good.
all right.
When I worked in California, Steve, you'll appreciate this. When I worked out, we were considered civilian contractors. We were on a military base called Fort Hunter Liggett.
Oh yeah.
When you come on to the military base for work, you had to go through the MP and security and you had to show them your ID and everything. Even though they knew you every day, they still made you show your ID. And we had full-time people there, but every once in a while, this one guy from Southern California would come up and kind of moonlight and work at our base. He was a bodybuilder. And this guy would eat like all the nasty cabbage and all those things, broccoli and things that would make you fart, like that would kill people.
Mm-hmm.
And we're out on a mission one day. We pick up a patient, we take him up to San Jose. And the pilot we had, little Hawaiian guy, nice guy, Matt, but he didn't tolerate, certain things. And this guy used to fart in the helicopter all the time. Jump out and run out of the room. And this guy would fart all the time. And it was bad, dude.
Gnarly, huh?
Oh, it was terrible.
And that's like me having control of the window locks on a car.
We're 5 miles from the base, and this guy cuts a nasty fart, and Matt was so angry. He slams down the collective so hard. He said, I have effing had it. And matter of fact, he slammed the collective so hard that we did like negative G's coming down.
Thunk.
He landed us out in the middle of the freaking desert, 7 miles from the base. Get out. And, it was his name, Jeff. Jeff looks at him. He goes, what? He goes, get out. Told him to get out. Left him out there. He looked over, and the pilot looked at me. He said, you got a problem with that? And I'm like, it's 105 degrees. I'm in a Nomex flight suit. I ain't saying a word. And I don't want to go back. He left him out there. We picked back up and flew back to the base. We landed. The funny part of the story was we got back and the pilot called his boss and said, I'm not going to put up with this. I left him out in the middle of the damn desert. I'm not going to tolerate this. The funny part was this poor sap had to walk back. And when he walked through security, he's in a uniform, flight uniform. And he's like, wait a minute, the helicopter came back and you're walking. The MPs were like, and you're walking again, why? And he had to tell me, well, I farted and the pilot threw me out. The MPs would not believe him initially.
That would be so embarrassing.
Ed, I just want to say, buddy, there is YouTube Kids app for a reason. Okay? Tell your kids to go use the app.
Yeah.
If you're not comfortable with them using the regular standard forum YouTube, send them to YouTube Kids. I'm sorry. This is a public platform, man. And because there's no rules that say I can't say these things, I'm going to continue having as much fun as I want to within reason. And that's what people need to understand. There's no lawyer sitting there telling you can't do these things. It is legal. If you want to have fun, just follow the guidelines. It's really easy. There's a whole thing about how to not exploit children on YouTube. If you read through it, it's really easy to follow. Okay, but it doesn't say anything about not talking the way you want to, or language, or I mean, obviously, don't be coming out here and saying you're doing little boys and you're being a weirdo. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. It's how you put yourself across.
You know, exactly. If it's just a bunch of grown dudes talking, having a good time, they're not going to do anything about it. It's just
So they're not going to flag if they catch certain words or.
no, they can flag it all they want to. That just means
Do you
the stream,
see?
it just means
do you
the stream's
see-
not going to make money. That's it.
Yeah.
So if
Do
I-
you see any cotton wool in this room?
What's that?
Do you see any cotton wool in this room?
Yeah, no.
That's right.
So all I'm saying is be you. Now, if you happen to make a mistake and you show a porn picture accidentally and somebody sees it and a kid happens to see it and goes, and then they go and get their mom and then mom gets involved, well, now you might have a little bit of an issue on your hands. But that was something you caused yourself. You know what I mean? We've heard of it happening, you know?
Yeah.
So it's that.
We heard Claude got a full-on lecture from one particular person's mother
Mhm.
over that incident with Grumpy and Mel, and
Well-
I mean, and the thing is, the person didn't have to watch it. There is a button. You can turn the button off.
Sure.
And it was a cartoon caricature.
And it was a cartoon as well. That's right.
Yep.
But
It was a-
Claude got an earful.
You know what
Absolute
though?
blast.
I would have immediately gone into fair rights use on YouTube because it's art.
Yep.
It's art.
But Claude, being a nice person, he just
Somebody drew it.
took it.
It's art.
He just took the conversation and just wore it. That's all.
Yeah, well, that's look, I have nothing against Claude. I really don't. I have no issue with Claude. If Claude thinks I'm after him or doing anything to him, I'm not.
He's not really.
He even banned another one of my channels. I came in there to be friendly the other day with a channel called My Reviews or something like that, one of my other channels, and I was being super friendly and actually, Ron, you were in there for that. I actually asked you the same joke. I said, "Hey, how's Elvis doing?" Okay, and I said, "My dearly," what's her name? Sonia was like, "That's somebody else," and they didn't say it was me. They said it was somebody else, Dennis or Denny, something like that. And all of a sudden, I was banned. I saw somebody type something, and then I was gone. And I couldn't comment anymore. I don't know, dude. If you happen to talk to Claude, I have nothing against the guy. If he wants to run his channel that way, that's absolutely fine. I'm not holding it against him. I'm telling everybody what I do here. Okay,
Yeah, that's right.
That's it. This
Exactly.
is how I run my channel. He wants to say this is how he runs his channel. This is how I run my channel. You're more than welcome to come here, Claude. I will pop in if I think things are interesting or you have a great discussion to talk about. I'll pop in. I'll follow your rules, whatever the case is. You know, but I don't understand why it seems to me that he thinks I'm after him for some reason. So
No, I mean, from what I heard, Dan,
yeah,
he doesn't think you're after him, but he wants things very clean.
that's on him. That's up to him. I don't care.
He even mentioned,
Yeah, I agree with Ron. I think that's the case.
Sure. I mean, if like I said, it's his
you're
channel.
welcome on anytime.
Yeah, I respect that. That's his channel. And I did come in. I just chose not drone worship because I didn't want to start a war with anybody.
No.
I used another channel and I was being super friendly. They gave me a wrench and all of a sudden my wrench got taken away and I got banned. I was like, what the hell just happened? It happened all in a matter of like 7 minutes. You know?
Really.
It's like,
Somewhat side with him. I did see a guy. I've seen 2 or 3 different occasions on his channel where you get these. I guess you guys call them trolls or whatever. And some guy come on the other day. What the heck did he said something? It was fairly vulgar, and I don't know whether it was him or what's her name, Sonia, that deleted the message or whatever. I mean, I saw it before it was deleted, but yeah, it was pretty inappropriate, you know. And I guess being that he has the one lady from and her daughter, her 13-year-old daughter, and I kind of understand that in a small way, you know.
Yeah.
well, he's only tied up in a position he can't get out of now because of Steve's birthday on accident. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's something he got dragged into because it was on his channel the time that it happened. So it's unfortunate it went down that way. Steve, it's not your fault. It's not Mel's fault. It happened. Somebody, whatever the case was. So now he's in a position where he's afraid he's going to get sued by this mother who's going to go after him if anything else is said on the channel. But here's the thing I want to push to Claude if he happens to watch this. Claude, you are a grown man. I'm sure people would understand an accident. You had no control over the panel and what got put up there at the time. So
I feel the same.
I'm almost positive if it ever saw a courtroom, they would just be like, okay, just be careful what you do. No, we're not going to do anything about this. Things happen, blah, blah, blah. There's no way in my right mind I would see a jury convicting you as a criminal activity for what happened that day. Okay, so if you have a mother whispering in your ear saying they're going to do all these nasty little things to you if you don't conform to how she's telling you to do things, buddy, that's a bad scenario. You should probably get yourself out of that situation. So
It was
That's how I see it.
It was a cartoon character, and actually, and I believe Lloyd, he didn't realize. He thought that the top female part, the nipples, were covered, and he didn't do it. But it was the cutout face to make it go out because he was singing like Marilyn Monroe, "Happy Birthday, Mr. President," and that's what Lloyd was doing. And everybody was just on the floor. I mean, rolling, laughing their butts off.
Exactly. It was meant to be comedy art.
right.
Simple as that.
Well, what irks me is that 2 weeks after that, we did a stream. Sonia was in there. Trevor, you were in there. We all had a blast. We were out of control. Everybody was having fun. We were drinking.
And I showed titties too.
See, but right, I did. I got you to do the truffle shuffle, and that was the most fun his stream panel has had. He got a lot of views, and it was a lot of fun. But then right after that, this all kicked in, and I was like, "Where is this coming from? Where did this just, And then the story kind of came out, and I was like, well, I'd tell that lady to shove it. That's just me, though. I'd tell her to go kick rocks or chew on rocks.
But the thing is, guys, we're all human.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sometimes we make mistakes. Sometimes people with common sense can say, "Oh well, shit happens," Get over it. And that's what it is. And I'd like to think that most of the people that we chat to, I'm in New Zealand, Trevor's in Aussie, you guys are in the States. I'd like to think we've all got common sense.
Sure.
But how do you measure common sense?
You can't teach it, and you can't
No,
measure
you can't teach it. No. But anyway.
Mike's he's still, and I agree with that, Mike, to a point. I do. I think Claude did have a little issue with me after that, and it is like I said, it is what it is. I don't really care. I'm not holding a grudge on this one. But I did get his channel a lot of growth. He did all of a sudden start getting a lot of people in there after we've made a couple streams, and I showed him how to get some attention and how to follow an algorithm, and all of a sudden I just randomly it felt like I became the bad guy. You know what I mean? And it was just like, I don't understand where this came from, but it makes sense now because of what she was doing to him. And I think
that's why I said what I said.
Is still doing to him. I don't think it's over. And the more he plays into it, I think the worse it's going to get for him. The more that she realizes she has control over Claude, the worse his channel is going to become. Got to break free at some point, man.
There's a song in there somewhere.
I was about to say that, the Kiwi.
We can work it out. Life is such a right, and there's no time.
I feel like there's a lot less
Steve is muted
lately. Steve, have you
I was thinking more of the Queen song, "We've Got to Break Free."
Oh.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I've got to break free.
That's the one I was thinking of too, Kiwi.
Break free from your so self-satisfying. Yeah, that's a good one. That's good. I'm a big Queen fan, by the way, if you guys didn't know.
I am too.
Yeah.
Steve, were you just singing the song I was singing a second ago?
Yes.
We can work it out. I can't.
And ironically, that was the most watched video Claude had to date.
What's that?
That birthday roast.
Yeah.
Because
No.
it was out on Twitter and Facebook, people got posted. People were just coming in from everywhere, and that was a shame because that was a huge amount of watch hours that he lost on that.
But you
Did he
can't.
delete it?
But you can't allow someone to form your channel now based on stipulations. If you don't do this, then I'm gonna.
Yeah.
That is not. If she's a lawyer and she's doing that to an individual, that is a big problem.
She's a non-practicing lawyer.
Yeah, well, she's gonna practice her way right into a cell if she starts messing
Well,
with people like that.
Basically, her and her daughter live like a mobile trailer park. It's no different. They live on one of those narrow boats. It's no different to a trailer park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not
Well, those
being
narrow
rude.
boats-
People.
No,
It's
you're
the way it is. It's a fact.
no, you're good. I get why he wants to do it. So from this point on, that's fine. Claude wants to be a family-friendly channel. Let him be a family-friendly. I have nothing against that. Go ahead, Claude. Do what
I
you
don't
gotta do.
either. Exactly. I agree with that.
I'm gonna
It's
jump in here.
It's however he wants to shape his channel.
Yep.
And I'll go along with that.
On my channel, we do stuff like this. Hey, Kiwi.
Yep.
Just because I don't like your face.
And
dick.
your budgie.
Right.
Yeah, dick.
Fuck.
Yeah, not only
Come
the
here and say that. Now
US
that's
way, the Kiwi way, and the British way, dude.
Oh God, dude! You know what that reminds me of? The Jurassic Park scene where he's like, "Are you kidding me? I brought all of you out here, and the only one on my side is the blood-sucking lawyer."
hey Dan,
Yeah,
Dan, shut the fuck up.
yeah. Fuck yeah.
Hey, Dan, for what it's worth, I mean, again, it's just my opinion, but
Sure.
I honestly, I bet you if he was on tomorrow morning and you come on and say, hey, he would be totally cool with that.
Yeah, I agree.
I really do.
I don't think he's got any big issues with you, dude.
He actually mentioned it.
He's,
Like I said,
I'll just put it bluntly. He's just scared. He's scared of what.
Trevor's right, yeah.
No, I already know he's scared. That lady's got him so scared. Sure. And that's actually I almost feel like there's a legality thing going on here that she can't really be doing that. Like it's one thing to say, hey, okay, you've been reprimanded, move on. But now you're holding things over this individual's head and you're trying to get him to make changes and alterations based on you saying, if you don't do this, I'm going to do this. That seems a little not legal to me. Anybody else feel that way? I would be a little bent about that, I think.
Her mom, the young girl's mom, in my understanding correctly, she's threatened to do something, or
that's apparently how. Isn't that how it goes, Kiwi?
Yeah.
Sorry, Kiwi. Manic.
Actually familiar with what's going on, and it is the case.
I didn't know that she was threatening. I didn't know she was giving him advice or whatever.
Yeah.
No, there's being stipulations drawn now, and I don't think that's legal.
I didn't know that.
Some people.
Yeah, it's like intimidation, right?
Huh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he started getting really bad there. But you get where I'm going with this. So yeah, Ed is absolutely right, man. It seems like intimidation tactics, which is not. When it comes to saying you're going to legally do something to somebody, and then you start intimidating the person through fear, there's laws against people doing stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Here in the States, if you're an attorney,
Yeah.
you do that here in the States, you'll be disbarred.
Right. They'll take your bar away.
You'll be brought up on charges.
Yep. So that's why I said, I would handle that situation completely different, honestly. I would just let that,
I take it Claude's in the UK then.
No,
he's here in the States.
Michigan.
So who's on a narrowboat then?
No, the lawyer lady is on the narrow boat, and where's she at, Steve?
UK, England.
Yeah. I wouldn't fucking worry about it then. Different laws, different countries. Tell her to fuck off. In England, you can't sue. So there you go.
But I think the only reason he really took the step forward towards this new aspect is because he was forced into it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that's a healthy way to do it. If he chose to do it under your own, he says he does, but I question that. It just doesn't feel like that's how it went down. And if Trevor's being honest, then Trevor's saying she's basically intimidating this man into having to make the changes. Well, that's how it feels to me. It feels like it's happening forcefully,
And there is laws in the UK, because I lived there for 20 odd years, and there's laws in the UK for cyberbullying and all this sort of thing, and the same in New Zealand, and that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And the police in the UK and New Zealand have got a task force dedicated to that. That's all they do, is sitting on a computer watching streams like this, YouTube, Facebook, freaking Twitter, the whole lot. And they nab people because they got the IP address and they go, gotcha.
I wish she'd try that with me. I'd catch a plane ticket to the UK pretty fast.
Mate, my last name,
what's
everybody knows it.
What's the nearest river or pond in the UK? Anybody know what like when you first step off the plane, what part of the UK should we pop in at here? I gotta have somewhere.
London.
You think London?
London.
Heathrow, London.
Okay.
Gatwick, London.
Luton,
London.
What would be a major water source?
The Thames.
Oh, mate, the Thames is a big river. Then you've got
River.
the Severn, which runs right through from Worcester right through to Bristol out to the Channel.
So the Thames.
The Thames. THAMES.
So what do you think the water displacement level would be with 4 cinder blocks, chains, and a body?
Fuck all.
Let's find out.
Fuck all.
I was like, really? Yeah.
Yeah, cinder blocks aren't heavy enough anyway. Lead gumboots.
Oh my gosh. No, but for real, I would never let somebody do that to me. It would be an issue. I would immediately be having fun with them then. I'd be making videos about them and, yo, this lady's trying to do this to me.
Well,
let's call her government
anyway,
and see if that's okay.
The funny thing is I've got myself out there now, and people know who I am, my last name, what part of the country I live in. And the funny thing is, my surname, there's only 5 in the country.
Really?
Gotcha. And like I was saying, Ron, save your bickies. Come over to New Zealand. We'll take you fishing, hunting, droning, cameraing, fucking whatever you want. And my cousin and her husband are both chopper pilots.
Hell, I'm in, brother.
I want to fly a helicopter. I don't know how, but is somebody going to let me get behind the control sticks?
And another name for you to Google is Hannibal Hayes, which is just put Hannibal Hayes, New Zealand chopper pilot, and see what his story is. I might even get you a job, and you could be flying around. You could be flying around all the best scenery in the country.
Hell yeah, I'm in, brother. It's Dan. It's not as easy as you think. There's
What's that?
things. You got a cyclic, collective, trim, and your pedals. And
I thought you were
the helicopter.
I thought you were telling me how to dispose of a body there for a second. I was like,
well, I've got an algorithm for that too.
It's a left-hand drive helicopter.
It's like my buddy. I just left at Yellowstone this morning. I said he's one of those good friends that I was telling Steve the other day. You call him at 2 a.m. and said, "I need you over here and bring a shovel." He'd show up and wouldn't ask questions. He might when he got there, but he would show up and he'd bring a shovel.
How deep do I have to dig?
oh my God, I'm so sick of women sending me money, coming on my show naked, giving me drones and cash.
That's great.
Oh, Sean, you're never dull, sir. You are never dull. By the way, yeah, I waited a while just to see if later on this got watched by that crazy lady. I would never actually go over there and throw her in a pond. I could think of 50,000 other things to do, but not throw her in a pond. Let your brain take you on a trip. Yeah. No threats were made. I waited 4 minutes. 4 minutes I waited before I said that. And she watches like, this guy threatened me.
Welcome to the Twilight Zone.
Oh my gosh. Oh, wait. Trevor's back. Manic.
He's back.
You wouldn't be naked, Trevor. You wouldn't have that problem.
Manic Magic Titties froze. Oh, there we go.
Trevor.
Put some bloody clothes on then.
Hello, Trevor.
Mark calling Orson. Come in, Orson.
Yeah. You have that show over there?
Nanu.
Nanu.
Nanu. Chat spot.
No, there was a man with wit and humor.
Yes, oh yes. And a lot of cocaine. You could always guarantee if you needed to snort, he had it for you.
Cool. Kickstart.
I saw him twice in live concerts.
Oh, you lucky duck.
And both days I had to recuperate the next day because my stomach was so sore.
Oh yeah. He's well, a lot of people didn't really like his humor because he was extremely politically based, but still he was funny. Yeah. I love rewatching all his old stuff. Weapons of Self-Destruction, Self-Made Man. Like there's a whole bunch of them. Yeah. He was a very animated. There's only one Robin Williams. I don't think there'll ever be another Robin Williams.
No.
You know, he was a very interesting person, and it's too bad that a lot of these comedians we find out later on that struggle with depression. The only reason they are the way they are is because they want to impress everybody. You know, at the cost of dying later on through suicide because they can't handle it anymore. I mean, it's got to be annoying to go out and be like, "Hey, say your favorite one-liner. Come on, guy." You know, and then you gotta say your favorite, your best movie quote. Like when you're Robin Williams, how many movie quotes do you think people ask him to say when he's out and about?
Jeez.
Good morning, Vietnam.
You know, try to remember them all.
But you got to be that guy. It's like, did you ever see the Jim Carrey went off the motherfucking deep end, dude, for like 5 years. Yeah. Did you see how bad Jim went off the deep end? Yeah, Jim was going balls crazy deep on people. Jim was like, I'm just here. And they're like, well, Jim, you got really dressed up for this red carpet event. He's like, did I? I just put things on and I came out here and you and me were just little tetrahedron particles floating through the universe. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with Jim? Holy Christ. What is he talking about? Out-of-body experiences and stuff. I'm not really Jim Carrey. I'm just playing Jim Carrey. And I'm like, loco, broco.
And he lives in Area 51.
Yeah, right? Paints pictures of Area 51 in his sleep, you know? But I'm just saying, like, if you've never watched Jim Carrey's, like, complete fall off, it started, his girlfriend passed away. Remember that? Yeah. He was with that really young girl, and apparently she was really drugged up or something, and he didn't know how to stop her from drugging up, and then she finally passed away. And after that, Jim went off on some crazy tangent of self-exploration and came back a painter and someone who thinks he's not really Jim Carrey, but he's playing the role of Jim Carrey. And like out there, man. Woo! You know, like seriously out there. And it got worse from there. And then Emma Stone. You know who Emma Stone is? That young actress. She's got the red hair. She played in Superbad. Remember the chick that, you know, was in Superbad, the red hair chick? Really, really young. She's like 30 now or 29 or something like that. She's just a little older now. But, man, he was like, what? He's like 60, 58, something like that. Jim's up there now. You know, and he's like, oh, dear Emma Stone, man. I love you so much, and if I was a younger man, the sex would just be incredible. And we'd have little redhead babies running around the house, and I was like, what is Jim talking about? He made a YouTube video for Emma Stone, and Emma was like, she made a response like, this was gnarly, Jim. We are never going to meet, never going to talk. I don't know you, you creepy man. Stay away from me. You know, it was like, oh my God, what happened?
He said what his divorce too is he was married at one point, wasn't he?
Yeah.
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 Where
Yeah, early on.
he could not be.
But yeah,
I've never liked Jim Carrey as an actor. I think he's too OTT for me anyway. But I did love Robin Williams, and I think Steve Martin is pretty good too.
Yeah.
you didn't like any of the Ace Venturas, bro?
Not really. Didn't. It was too full on, mate. It was just in your face all the time.
I
And
love it.
Some people might think it's funny, but nah.
Well,
No.
Jim was one of a kind too, man. He was like I said, not everybody. Jim's not for everybody because he is animated all the time. But yeah, Jim has really calmed down a lot since the days of him being much younger Canadian. He's really kind of settled, I think. He's not going around like, hey, how you doing? All righty then, you know. Jim is more, you know, fine. I think he finally found himself after all that crazy stuff went down. And he did a segment in a show that I think he should have got an Oscar for. It was only 5 minutes long, but he played a homeless guy walking through the desert. Did you see that? That it was trending for a long time. Like, Jim's back, you know. And Jim did this. Who's that big Hawaiian dude that played Khal Drogo in you know what I'm talking about? Or he was Aquaman.
Oh, Momoa. Is it Jason Momoa?
Jason Momoa or whatever his name is. But yeah, he does a scene with Jason Momoa where he's walking through the desert and meets, you know, Momoa's character, and Jim is like just completely sunbeaten and just looks horrible, and he doesn't really talk to him. He just kind of like uses hand language, but it's a very sad scene to watch, and it's amusing. It was very Jim Carrey-ish, but at the same time, it was meant to make you feel something. And I think he got his point across in that scene. And I was like, wow, that was extremely good acting. That's something I have never seen from Jim. Jim's always been this like character that's like, you know. To find a calm Jim was worlds of difference, man. It was interesting to watch that.
Look up some YouTube videos with Robin Williams. Like he's those things with Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
The whole time he's on her, there's not a serious moment about him.
No. Mike, what's up?
Not much. What's going on?
What's going on, Brad?
Howdy, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Oh,
Hey, Mike.
you know what the funny thing is?
Hey, Kiwi.
Yeah, Mike.
Nobody here is in the UK, but the UK does not like Mr. Bean. Rowan Atkinson, they don't appreciate him the same way we do in the States. Were you guys aware of that?
Yep.
I love Mr. Bean. Rowan Atkinson is shit hot. Even way back Blackadder times. Not the 9 o'clock news with the Kiwi that was on board, who's married to Billy Connolly.
But Rowan, he's not well. It's like, it's the same thing with a lot of music. Like, a lot of U.S. people love music from other countries, but their own countries don't even like their music. Like, what's their name? They did Du Hast, Rammstein. You know who Rammstein is?
Rammstein,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Most every other country in the world likes them except for their own country. Germany hates them. They hate them.
Mad, isn't it? Mad.
Absolutely hate them.
Yeah.
I don't understand why.
Too heavy for them? I don't know.
Who knows, man?
Who knows? But excellent song.
Yeah, du hast.
Du hast.
It's funny because the
Du hast
English
mich.
du hast mich gefragt, du hast mich yeah, but the funny thing is that the whole song is basically I hate you. I hate you. You know, come hate with me. Come hate with me. Like that's the lyrics in English. It's like we don't get that. We just like the du hast mich. We like that sound. To them, they know what they're saying. They're like, this is kind of a dumb song, you know. But in the U.S., we like how it sounds when it's spoken in the German tongue. So we're attracted to it, you know. It
But
catches our.
the funny thing,
Go ahead.
the funny thing is with New Zealand and Australia, we've got our own music that's gone worldwide,
Mhm.
and we've got American music coming in, we've got English music coming in, and we mix it all up and make our own. And both New Zealand and Australia have had some bloody excellent bands
Yeah.
that have gone worldwide.
Mhm.
So
So you
Yep.
just have you have mutt bands then. You have,
we're mongrels,
just
mate.
mi-
We're
mix-
mongrels.
Sometimes
yeah, exactly.
Gotta ask Mike B. What kind of bike?
Some-
do you
He's back. Are you back, Trevor?
Pedal faster, Trevor. Pedal faster.
His titties are still frozen.
Trevor's having some serious internet problems tonight.
Oh, mate. Telstra again.
Okay,
Test.
so
Bloody
the
Telstra.
panda, yeah.
Mike, what kind of bike do you have?
It's a Honda VTX 1800.
my titties froze.
A
It's a
VTX
nice-
1800.
It's not a real cross
that a-
rocket.
Is that a Goldwing?
No, it's just a cruiser.
It's a cruiser, yeah.
Big V12, is it?
Dude, who could hate
But,
Dumb and Oh, Ed, you're losing my respect here. Quick, bro. Who could hate Dumb and Dumber? That is a classic, dude.
Oh, that's an awesome movie.
Classic.
And
Oh.
Dumb and Dumber 2.
Well, I was not as impressed by the second one as the first one. The first one was way funnier than the one that they made when they were a lot older. Even though it was funny, it was not nearly as amusing as the first one. It had its moments. But
Oh, the
yeah.
second one was good because Jim Carrey wasn't in it.
Well, no, I'm talking about the Dumb and Dumb
Oh,
Yeah, the
Yeah.
You're talking about Dumb and Dumber 2, the two teen kids that played the older versions, right? But that was their Dumb and Dumber in the younger days.
Mm.
Right. And then they had Dumb and Dumb I think is what it was.
Yeah. We can all associate with it.
Yeah. Stupid song. Yeah, Panda, Panda, Panda is a stupid song. But no, here's prime performance done by Jim Carrey that you wouldn't have thought of. Man on the Moon. Excellent performance. Excellent. Amazing. Remember where he's playing the role of the comedian? I can't think of the comedian's name, but
Kaufman.
what's that?
Andy Kaufman.
Andy Kaufman, where he does almost an identical representation of Andy Kaufman to the T. He was fantastic in Man on the Moon. That role was meant for him. Some people are just meant for certain roles, that was his role. So
Is that Andy Kaufman that played the mechanic on Taxi?
Yeah.
Me. Ba 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 na na.
Yep.
Oh, that's a different movie. That's a different movie. Look at this weather. Fuck.
Are you running your car right now?
Yeah, I'm charging the battery on my phone. She was down to 6%.
Do you really think so, Fred? Fred says The Majestic was his best movie. That was the one about the movie theater. That was good. I don't know. I think his best movie of all time was probably the Truman Show. That was such a fantastic movie.
God.
Or Liar Liar. Another good one.
That was good.
The goddamn pen is blue.
Bruce Almighty.
I didn't like that one as much. That was okay. It was all right. The funniest part of that one was the where he's like typing, and he's like,
Or oh God,
Oh God, that was good.
that was hilarious, especially when he's sitting there. The one scene I'll never forget, sitting in that open room, everything's all white. There's that file cabinet. He pulls to open it up, and then he goes slamming back across the room with everything done wrong.
Well,
oh, we
I'm
got
going to do
Roy.
a Claude. I'm going to do a Claude on you guys because my wife just turned up.
We got Roy.
All righty, sir.
That's a
Take
bill.
care, Kiwi.
Roy.
Good evening, sir.
Later,
Adios.
Kiwi.
See you guys.
We got
Bye-bye.
Roy from Norway.
How's it going?
Yeah, you just have to try it out.
Hey, do me a favor. I understand you're not from Austria, but just say it's not a tumor for me. I just want to hear what it sounds like. Did you hear me, Roy?
No, can you repeat it?
Yeah, can you say it's not a tumor?
It's not a tumor.
Kind of. How far is Austria from Norway?
It's not a tumor.
Yeah. How far are they apart? Do you guys know? Austria and how close are you to Austria?
On each side of the earth.
Okay. Well, I thought Norwegians always sounded like Austrians, kind of. I guess I got that wrong.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I guess so, motherfucker.
No, but Austrians are like Germans. Yeah.
Oh, true. I guess, kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
So
I
yeah.
still, yeah. All right. So you were telling me about this DJI stuff. Talk to me, bro.
Yeah, it was since you were living in an area with bombarded with NFZs, like no-fly zones, yeah. I was just mentioning that this super patcher that Digidot and his friends have developed that you can just install with no need for you to input anything. So they remove all the restrictions.
Restrictions, right?
Yeah, just autonomously.
But doesn't the DJI what's that software that I'm thinking of, Steve, that removes it? No Limit Drones.
Yeah.
Isn't that the same as No Limit Drones? What's really the difference between what they're offering and No Limit Drones is offering?
You more or less have to go in there manually and do everything that No Limits drone software does.
Uh-huh.
The new Super Patcher thing does it kind of automated.
Really?
But
just plug and play.
Huh.
I mean, the guy's got a website up. It's digstat.0
Yes.
or digstat0.
Yeah. And he goes and he shows you on YouTube with the link to download Super Patcher, and just showing you just step by step, also just filming the PC screen and just showing you what you are gonna see. And it's just like press yes to execute.
Oh my God.
If you want to enable FCC mode, just press yes.
Does it what is the word I'm searching for here? Does it cost anything? Is there a price on it, or he's giving it away? How does it work?
No, it's totally free. no
Really?
cost.
So there you go, Steve.
Basically, I think they took what Digstat did and
Oh, you mean what
made
No
it-
Limit Drones did?
software, right. They more or less wrote up some software to do what Digstat is telling you to do, but it sort of simplifies it and dumbs it down so you don't have to know everything. Basically, you go in there with Digstat's information, turn off the debugging, and you can get into all of the parameters.
Okay. Now that's what I was going to be curious
Yeah,
about. By doing that, that makes it open source.
Right.
yeah.
You're losing the proprietary base that DJI holds so true to. So by doing that, my question is it screwing you for future updates? If you had to do a future update and you did it, would it mess with the enhancements you've already made to it?
Yeah.
No, but why do you want to update? Also, if the drone is functioning, why fix something that's not
No,
broken?
I get that. I get what you're saying, but I'm saying DJI has a smooth, slick way of doing things. They like to pull you
Yeah.
back in by offering you a feature you don't have, and the only way to get it is to make sure that your app is updated and so is your firmware on the same basis. So that would mean that if you did have a feature that they offered in the future that you wanted, the only way to do that would be to do the update, and then are those parameters still going to hold true if you are forced into the update based on functionality?
Yeah,
You see where I'm
because
going with this?
you never have to update again. Also, yeah, they can't force you to update again.
Well, I get that, but I'm
Also,
saying
you can, if you will, you can roll back to another version, or if you absolutely want, you can undo the super patcher.
so it is like NASA then. So it's almost the same setup as NASA.
Yeah, I haven't tried that. What you said, it was
What you said, NASA.
Yeah,
NASA's a bit
yeah.
older, but it was a lot of the original DJI platform stuff used NASA. It would allow you to get into the parameters of like the Phantom 1, the Phantom 2. It was all NASA based. So that's why I said that Phantom 3, we got capped on that. We could do small variations and simple mod patches. And then after that, they made everything completely proprietary from that point on. So
Yeah, with the Phantom 4, they started to in the beginning you could alter all the parameters yourself, but then more and more they made it more and more difficult for you to alter the parameters. And now it's like, for example, height limit. Yeah, the parameter is just blanked out. Also, in original DJI Go 4 app.
do you know what the coding was written in the scripting for DJI platform? Do you know what the scripting is?
No, not the exact code language. No.
Okay.
If
Well, because if you can get into the scripting and start writing your own coding for their software, that means that you can start adapting new things to it. So if Steve is correct and you have ability to access the flight parameters, then you should be able to access the flight control systems as well and be able to adjust them to your needs, just like the Solo, and then start adapting other gimbals and other cameras to it. That would open up a whole fucking new world for Phantom products.
yeah. And as I mentioned yesterday, was it? Yeah, I crashed my Phantom 4. Yeah, and I have to
I'm sorry.
take it apart to fix it. Yes, and buy the new camera module. then it was then I saw that it was Intel sticker on the chip on the camera chip inside.
Right. Well, I'm sorry for you, man. I just rebuilt this entire Solo. This is basically got all new parts and components now after the crash. So I feel what you're about to go through. I just wiped this entire machine and started over from scratch and put a bunch of motors, legs, new gimbal, everything on it. So I know what you're about to go through. How bad you crash it?
No, I fixed it. I crushed it and I fixed it. Yes, so it was up flying again.
Gotcha.
But at the later the flight a year after or so, I was so unfortunate to scratch a tree with one of the propellers, and it just break down and
Hey Fred, you want to have more fun than that? You just let me know. We'll strap a flamethrower and a servo on that puppy. Yeah. Run, little dog, run. Hit the button. Yeah.
I've seen YouTube video with flamethrower attached to DJI Matrice or something.
Yeah. Think about how easy it is, though. You can still get the small little flamethrower propane guns, and you can attach them to, a decent-sized bird. But all you got to do is put a servo on it to have it pull the trigger. So you just got to line it up with whatever you're trying to do, and then activate the servo, and it'll. And then,
On Ken Heron's show, the one night they showed that one Russian company, a group of drones that had that flamethrower on the drone.
Yeah. Like, it would be really easy to do. There's not much to it, man. As long as the pilot light doesn't go out, you're good to go.
Yeah, I also seen a YouTube video with a young guy have mounted Glock 9mm under his Phantom 4. And was filming it when he was firing a shot, and you just saw the drone was just taking the recoil just like some 3 inches back, and then the drone got back in place again.
Let's see here.
Just mentioning.
Okay, so Fred, how about like this? You said a big fly swatter. Let's go for this. Yay! Hey, I'm Johnny Knoxville, and this is my neighbor's dog. Did I totally push that? Yeah, here we go. Johnny Knoxville. All right, where's my mouse? Really? My mouse disappeared? What the heck? All right, anyways. Okay.
That was good.
Yeah, so we could totally do that to your neighbor's little Yorkie. Just a big spring-loaded hand and just fly it over the top of the dog, and when it's barking up at it,
have it on your porch. So if the neighbor dog comes at your house, you smack him in the back.
You could really have some fun. Wet the side of your fence down where the dog comes over and hangs out and poops, and stick 2 big steel beams into the ground with a stake driver and wet it all down, and then hook up a car battery to it when the dog enters the area. Yeah. And when it pees, it'll go up its dick. Yeah.
You're so mean.
Dan,
Yes.
remind me never to piss you off.
Yeah, dude.
Oh. Hey,
Dude,
Dan,
I was evil when I was a kid, man.
I'm going to bounce out of here. Have a
Are
good
ya?
night. Thanks for letting me in.
Yeah,
You got it, brother.
I've had a long day.
It's all good. I mean, it's already almost 2. I'm gonna probably start shutting it down. Heck yeah, we've been on for almost 2 hours and 40 minutes now. So,
Yeah.
Ed, I will
Thank
add more batteries if needed.
Ron, Coalfire, Mike, have a good evening. Everybody in chat, Rick, Jody, good to see everybody in here supporting Dano.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good night,
good to
Steve.
see you too, Rick. Always cool comments.
Take care, guys.
The giant fly swatter.
Yeah. Ed, if I have to, I'll hook it to 220 house current, and then I'll just flip the switch. Yeah. You only need a burst. That dog will never forget it. Just a quick
You
one.
make a good medic, Dan. You got a sick, devious little monkey.
If you go to that length, you can just putting landmines on
Yeah,
your.
that's next. If the dog doesn't learn, that's next, man. And Mountain Dew, Mountain Dew landmines, bro. Loose cap, and when they step on it, it deploys the little Alka-Seltzer, and it drops in, and it builds up pressure, and the dog will be peeing, and all of a sudden the whole Mountain Dew thing will just blow up and take the sod with it. Awesome! You didn't really make a bomb; you just made a Mountain Dew exploding bottle.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Good night,
Later,
brother.
man.
I'll see you guys. Everybody have a good night. Take care.
All right.
Okay.
True, Mr. Ron.
Yeah. Good night to you.
Night.
Well,
No, I was just wanting to try this StreamYard thing. Yeah, for the first time ever.
your English is improving by the minute, sir. It's good to do this.
Thanks.
It helps, doesn't it? You start, it forces you. I mean, how come? Well, let me ask you this: is Norwegian another language by itself, or is it Americanized to a point? Like, do you know what I'm saying by that? Like, is this how you guys normally talk, or is there a specific language you guys use?
No, it's a specific language that we use, but all Scandinavian countries we understand each other. It's almost the same.
Right. So
it's
how?
Just like what you call it, American and Canadian. Also, the difference in language. I don't. Then I mean the English, not the French.
Right.
Yeah, if you understand me.
Yeah. But for the most part.
So Norway, Sweden, and Denmark, we understand each other.
Okay. Heck yeah.
So, yeah, but we're. Many words you have is actually from Norway or Scandinavia, like the keel of the boat, for example. Yeah, that's a Norwegian word.
You said keel of the boat, correct?
Yeah, I said it in English, but in Norway, it's like in the keel of the boat. Yeah.
Okay.
But the Americans have picked it up as keel, but it's this really keel.
Wow. So, man,
many words like that.
We just take every language and just destroy it with slang and craziness, don't we?
No, but we came as a you or us as a we Europeans. We came to America, as you know.
Oh yeah.
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 So
Well, Mr. Roy, I think we're actually going to end up shutting this down here in a sec.
yeah.
But yeah, next time I'm on, man, if I see you pop in, you should join us on panel again. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just trying just for fun.
I know.
Never ever been on a live stream as a video
It's
stream
it's
before.
easy, right?
Huh?
It's easy, right? There's not much to it.
No. Also, it couldn't have been easier.
Mhm.
Also, it couldn't have been easier. Also, yeah.
Yeah. Couldn't
Yes,
have been easier. Yeah. Heck yeah.
So yeah, I'm supporting you, Dan, and really cool to watch your videos and yeah,
Thank you.
everything. I love your channel. Your channel is the channel I watch the most.
The most. All right. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. Well, you and never mind your own. You know that guy.
God, what's his name? Never Fly.
Never mind your own.
I don't think I know that channel. I'm gonna have to search it.
Not your average guy.
No, never mind your own, huh? That's what it's called.
Yeah, you never
yeah.
watched his videos, Dan?
No, I always support the small people. I don't try to find big people.
He have 50, 60K support.
Never mind your own. I see that. I'll subscribe to him. We'll see what happens. I don't normally subscribe to big channels. I've always been here for the little guys to help them grow and help them communicate with one another and learn. And
Trust me, he is really, really down to earth.
To earth, huh?
And just a little guy, if you, yeah, you know what I mean.
Mhm.
And just to go on adventures with his drone and just, yeah.
Where's he live?
In Holland, the Netherlands. If you want,
Okay.
if you will.
Yeah.
And you also have a vacation house in Tenerife or Spain. Yeah. So many of his films are from there. Yeah.
Wow, he doesn't have very many videos posted. Jeez. He's only got 244 videos. Fuck. I'm over like 1,200 at this point. Oh my God, man. Some people have all the luck. Oh well.
Yeah. You're thinking to the amount of subscribers.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually talking about how much content he's pushed. He doesn't put up videos very often, does he?
No, not it. Some periods he could come out with the videos like often, and sometimes you don't. What you see should I say hear or see from him for a while.
Let's see.
But yeah.
Yeah, so his last video was a month ago. A month ago. So he put up 3 videos in 1 month, and that's it. And then 2 months ago. So
He used to be a lot steadier, but he kind of mellowed out here lately. But he used to have, new content out every week.
Mhm.
But lately, I don't know. He must be busy because he hadn't done a lot of YouTube lately.
Yeah, I see that. Still, man, that seems to be the way to go.
But he likes also he find like on a adventure like yeah, and travel to that place and exploring it with his drone.
Sure. Heck yeah.
Just like if you were going to, yeah, wherever, yeah, and filming it with your drone and filming like a little bit from your trip there and the prepping and the filming, yeah.
Yeah.
And like you, and when before you start flying, you just talk to the camera and like yeah, today yeah, I wanted to film this yeah, whatever, yeah.
He has some
And,
interesting
yeah.
content, but here lately, what he's been doing is filming some classic cars for somebody.
yeah, yeah, that was boring, but yeah.
Yeah, it was, but at least he was in different places doing it there.
Oh yeah! Oh my God! He was traveling like a quarter around the world almost.
Well, I'm going to post the Discord link in the chat in case anybody wants to join us in Discord after this, where we do voice chat. So it gives you the ability to come into voice chat, communicate with us on your cell phone or wherever you're at. You can download the Discord app or from your PC. So here's the link. In case anybody would like to join us, you just click on the link and you can pop into Discord, sign it. It takes you right to my server, and we go on there and normally voice chat and just have an after viewing call with everybody that wants to pop in. It's kind of fun. So
yeah. What's the? Can I ask you what time is it? Yeah, in Florida, Tampa.
Almost
2
2
a.m. Yeah, 2 a.m.
In nighttime or daytime?
a.m. So yeah, night. Well, technically it's morning now.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
0200 dark. Yeah.
Yeah. 2 in the morning. 0200.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, here is like 7:52. Yeah, and the sun is coming up.
Yeah.
So almost 8 o'clock in the morning.
Got you.
Oh, so I'm dead tired now.
Ed, you know I don't have a basement in Florida. Come on now, man. There's no basements in Florida. Jeez. We live below sea level, bro. I'd be flooded if I had a basement.
He is teasing you.
I know. Well, guys, I think on that note, we're calling it. Roy, it was fun to have you on board. Mike, as always, I'll see you in Discord after this. People in the chat, you guys are amazing. If you forgot to hit the like button on the way out, please don't forget. Helps my algorithm. And I got more content coming over the next couple days, and I got to review that little drone over there in the corner and some other stuff coming. So it should be fun.
Yeah. Looking forward to see that.
Sounds good. You'll get to see all the painstaking bull crap I dealt. Well, not all of it, but you'll see the majority of the crap I was dealing with this tomorrow.
Yeah, but fun watching.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Come on
So
back in
yeah,
the boy.
thanks for joining, and yeah, now I'm going to sleep. My girlfriend just went off to work. And she was, yeah. I haven't had much sleep this night.
Oh, frisky night, huh? Yeah.
No.
Oh man. Well, guys, I'm out of here. You
Yeah.
all have a good
Good night, everybody.
Choo-choo.
Yeah, nice talking to you all.
Yeah.
And
Fun.
yeah, keep up the good stuff, Dan. Just, yeah.
I'm working on it. I'll get new products here at some point. I just gotta have money to do it. So it's killing me. You know? But all right. Ending the stream here. Boom. All right, let's see here.